Hey there, history junkies, buckle up for a wild ride through time, where empires rise, crowns clash, and legends are born. From the sun-scorched forts of ancient Persia to the glittering courts of Elizabethan England. From the marble halls of Mughal India to the windswept steppes of Mongolia, we're diving into the epic sagas of the greatest rulers who ever lived. Forget stuffy history lessons. These kings, emperors, and queens wielded wit, steel, and ambition so bold, they'd make modern CEOs look like interns fumbling a Zoom call. Picture backstabbing courts, world-shaking conquests, and scandals juicier than a viral X thread. Sourced from ancient chronicles and spiced with whispers of legend, these tales will leave you stunned, inspired, and maybe a little grateful you're not dodging assassins in a medieval palace. Ready for a journey that'll grip you tighter than a Netflix cliffhanger? Let's go. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell if you're obsessed with epic history like we are. Drop a comment with where you're watching from and what time it is. Love seeing our global crew unite for these adventures. Now, dim the lights, crank up that fan for a soothing hum. Sink into your comfiest spot. Let your mind drift to a memory that still sparks joy and soak in the vibe. Hop into our time machine and let's unravel the greatness of rulers who shaped the world. Step into ancient Persia, where Cyrus the Great built an empire so vast it made borders look like mere suggestions, conquering with charm sharper than a viral tweet. Ready to meet the king who rewrote the world's playbook? Imagine waking under the golden dawn of ancient Persia, around 600 BC, the sun climbing the rugged hills of Anshan like a startup logo lighting up a pitch deck. The air hums with wild herbs, smoke from distant campfires, and a shepherd's flute riffing like it's chasing Spotify streams. Your feet hit the gritty earth, your tunic scratching like a thrifted t-shirt from a sketchy eBay deal. Fresh flatbread's aroma battles the musky stench of horse stables, with a hint of altar incense signaling that gods and kings are co-founders in this dusty startup called Persia. You're Cyrus, soon to be the Great, turning a backwater province into a global empire without a single coffee run or Wi-Fi router. Your hustle's no TikTok flex. Thank your firewall for no spear-throwing invaders crashing your project launch. Your childhood's no chill Netflix binge. Born in Anshan, a vassal state under media's iron grip, your palace is more mud brick Airbnb than luxury penthouse. Your dad, Cambyses Ard, runs the Pars tribe like a scrappy team lead with no equity. Your mom, Mendane, daughter of media's king Astyages, brings royal clout, making you a dual-boot heir of power and drama. The wind whispers through date palms, carrying news of Assyria's collapse, a reminder that even top empires crash like a crypto coin in a market dip. Your upbringing's intense. Thank your online courses for no chariot raids like a DDoS attack on your startup. You train like it's ancient CrossFit. Archery burns your arms like a brutal gym session. Horse riding chokes you with dust. And governance lessons hit like a TED Talk from a warlord with no chill. Sweat stings. Bowstrings snap like an overstretched app. And forged smoke smells like a Bubba Q gone wrong. Mentors, grizzled warriors, and sages who'd roast you on X for missing a shot. Drill tales of kings who tanked for ignoring omens, like falling for a phishing email. Villages nearby reek of open sewers, worse than a music festival porta potty. Your grind's tough? Thank your air-conditioned office for no desert training like a viral fitness challenge fail. Herodotus spins a wild tale. Astyages, your paranoid grandpa, dreams you'll topple him and orders baby you deleted. Fate intervenes, and a shepherd raises you like a secret superhero, your royal blood hidden until it leaks like a PR crisis. It's half myth, but Astyages' paranoia vibes like a conspiracy thread on Reddit. Growing tall with midnight black hair and eyes sharp enough to cut through court BS, you draw side eyes from media's nobles, fed up with Astyages' tyrant tantrums. Their whispers, soft as silk in Ecbatana's stone halls, smell like rebellion. And you're the spark. Your origin story's wild. Thank your LinkedIn for no royal hit squads like a bad true crime podcast. By 550 BC, media's a chaotic Discord server, Astyages' paranoia tanking his leadership cred. You're king of Anshan, leading a lean Pars crew like a startup with no VC funding. The court's murmurs like notifications flooding a group chat scream, revolt. You rally media's disgruntled elites, your rebellion a Kickstarter campaign with swords instead of swag. General Harpagus, burned by Astyages' betrayal, Serving him his son for dinner? Yep, ancient drama hits hard, flips to your side. Near Pasargade, your smaller army funnels media's forces into valleys, archers raining arrows like a spam filter gone rogue. The ground shakes with hooves, dust swirls like a sandstorm filter, and blood and smoke air stings your lungs. Astyages is captured, maybe retired or locked down like a CEO banned from his own boardroom. You've hacked media's OS, merging pars and meads into your empire's beta. Your takeover's epic. Thank your pitch deck for no cavalry charges like a crashed Zoom demo. Next, UI Lydia, where Croesus swims in gold like a crypto bro pre-crash. Around 547 BC, you march on Sardis, its temples gleaming like NFT marketplaces, markets buzzing with spices pricier than your rent. Croesus, hyped by a vague Delphi oracle, crossed the river and Empire falls, thinks he's got you. Spoiler, he's betting on the wrong stock. At Tyria, swords clash louder than a festival mosh pit, the air sharp with dry grass. You fake a retreat, luring Croesus to Sardis for a siege. A soldier finds a cliffside path, think parkour with spears, and your troops sneak in, torches flickering like a low-budget sci-fi set. Sardis falls, Croesus spared, maybe even dropping wisdom like a guest on your podcast. His gold coins jingle like Venmo alerts, looted temple incense smelling sweeter than victory. Your strategy's slick. Thank your analytics for no oracle misreads like a bad crypto trade. In 539 BC, you target Babylon, the ancient world's Silicon Valley. Culture, wealth, drama on max. King Nabonidus, an absentee CEO, has ghosted his priests, who are ready to unfollow. You don't just invade, you innovate. Legend says you divert the Euphrates River, letting your troops wade in like it's a kiddie pool. Moonlight glints off ripples, mud and adrenaline thick in the air. Babylon opens its gates, crowds roaring like a stadium, temple oils smelling like a luxe spa. You issue the Cyrus Cylinder, a clay tablet decreeing religious freedom and repatriation, letting Jews rebuild Jerusalem's temple. The stylus scratches like a pen on a blockbuster deal, wet clay earthy as fresh soil. It's PR gold, maybe the first human rights charter. Your launch isn't clay tablets. Thank your press release for no river-diverting invasions like a viral PR stunt. Your empire, spanning the Mediterranean to the Indus, is a cultural playlist bigger than Spotify's catalog. You're a systems architect, not just a conqueror. The satrap system lets local governors run provinces like regional apps, keeping their local vibe. Royal roads stretch like 5G networks, couriers racing like prime delivery drivers, hooves kicking up dust that clings to your skin. You smell horse sweat. Hear bridge creaks. Feel taxes building bridges from Egypt to Bactria. Nobles plot like reality TV villains. Frontier tribes fight like they're rage posting on X. You show mercy to those who kneel, but crush traitors, keeping your empire tighter than a corporate NDA. Your scale's massive. Thank your cloud infrastructure for no 2,000-mile marches like a brutal startup grind. In 530 BC, you face the Massagetae, led by Queen Tamiris, a warrior who'd shred influencers in a debate. The steppes freeze, wind howling like a toxic Reddit thread, grass smelling of defeat. You try spiking their camp with wine, like hacking their servers with a phishing scam. Tamiris hits back, her counterattack a banhammer. You fall, blood soaking the grasslands. Herodotus claims she dunked your head in a blood-filled sack, a flex that trend with savage queen. Your tomb at Pasargade, simple stone in a green sea, hums with distant chants as you touch its cool surface. Your exit's dramatic. Thank your quiet days for no-step battles like a viral TikTok takedown. Your Achaemenid empire rolls on under Cambyses the Tick than Darius I, a machine you coded from scratch. The Bible calls you God's MVP. Xenophon's Cyropedia paints you as a life coach. And even the Greeks give props. Your roads, postal system, and cultural remix set the stage for Rome. You smell temple incense. Hear galloping couriers, feel an invisible crown's weight. You built a world where differences didn't mean division. Your legacy's no X-Flame war. Thank your platform for no arrow-dodging diplomacy like a heated Reddit thread. The dark side's real. Your taxes, like a forced Netflix subscription, drain farmers while nobles stack gold. Conquests burn resources like a bad crypto bet. And rebellions flare like bugs in untested code. Your mercy, legendary as it is, doesn't reach everyone. Executions send a brutal message, blood and ash heavy in the air. Constant campaigns keep you from your family, your heart stuck on a loading screen. Your grind's not ancient, Thank your work-from-home setup for no empire-wide rebellions like a toxic group chat. Myths amplify your legend. Your spear, said to be God-forged, glows like a sci-fi prop, piercing enemy lines. A dream of a united Persia, seen under starry skies, is your divine pitch deck, verified by priests. A sandstorm at Sardis scattering Lydia's army is your heavenly DDoS attack. Tales of you sparing Croesus go viral like an ancient NFT drop. Your war horses, blessed for battle, charge like Tesla Cybertrucks across dusty plains. Your vision's not divine. Thank your mood boards for no priestly hype like a preachy YouTube sermon. Your Cyrus the Great, a Persian prince who toppled empires, coded a global system, and left a legacy no algorithm could match. Your wars were brutal, your reforms epic. Your vision, a world's OS built from scratch. Cyrus stunned Persia with his empire, but now head to Macedonia, where Alexander the Great swept across continents like a meme gone global, leaving chaos and legends in his wake. How did a young warlord conquer the known world? You awaken in Pella, Macedonia, 356 BC, under a dawn spilling over jagged hills like a viral Instagram filter cranked to max. The air hums with olive blossoms, forge smoke, and distant goat bleats, vibing like an indie band's SoundCloud demo. Your sandals crunch gravel, your wool tunic itches like a cheap Amazon knockoff. Fresh bread's aroma from a nearby oven clashes with the sweaty musk of soldiers drilling, while myrrh from a temple altar hints the gods are either hyping you up or trolling. You're Alexander, son of Philip II and Olympias, destined to be the great, turning a scrappy Balkan kingdom into a global empire faster than a startup hits unicorn status. Your grind's no TikTok stunt. Thank your VPN for no Persian armies crashing your launch party. Your childhood's no Netflix chill. Pella's palace is more fortress than Luxe Airbnb, in a Macedonia that's less world power and more underdog with big dreams. Your dad, Philip II, is the Steve Jobs of Greece, unifying tribes and building an army leaner than a startup's MVP. Your mom, Olympias, is a mystic firebrand, whispering divine ancestry like she's pitching a fantasy novel. Aristotle, the OG philosopher, like a TED Talk host with no slides, crams your head with philosophy, science, and Homer, planting dreams bigger than Macedonia's hills. Parchment and ink fill your study, spears clatter outside, a constant ping of your military destiny. Your education's brutal. Thank your online courses for no epic poetry marathons like a crashed Google Classroom. Your teens are less prom, more beast mode. Take Bucephalus, the horse no one could tame, bucking like it's glitching in a video game. Nobles fail, but you, barely a teen, spot he's spooked by his shadow. You turn him to the sun, mount up and ride like a pro. Dust stings your throat, cheers roar, and Philip buys the horse, your four-legged wingman. That moment brands you. You don't just solve problems, you make them your logo. Your flex isn't viral. Thank your ex-post for no wild horse challenges like a bad TikTok stunt. At 20, in 336 BC, Philip stabbed at a wedding, a plot twist straight out of Game of Thrones. Rumors swirl, Olympias, you? No proof, but the timing's suspiciously clean. You seize the throne, not with pomp, but in crisis mode, like a CEO stepping into a failing startup. Greece's city-states, Athens, Thebes, smell weakness and rebel faster than trolls on a bad ex-post. You wield Philip's elite army, think seals with sarissas, and crush dissent at Chaeronea. Leading the cavalry, you flank the Greeks, the phalanx holding like a firewall. Thebes folds, Athens bows, and you forge the Corinthian League like a merger sealed on Zoom. Your takeover's intense. Thank your org chart for no city-state rebellions like a toxic Slack thread. Persia's your real target, a superpower making Macedonia look like a garage startup. In 334 BC, you cross into Asia Minor with 35,000 men, hitting the Granicus River like it's your IPO. Persian satraps hold the high ground, thinking they've got you. You charge across the river, leading cavalry like you're live streaming an action flick. Hooves thunder, spears splinter, sweat and iron choke the air. Your phalanx locks shields, a human tank, and you carve through, nearly taking a blade to the skull. The Persians break, their commanders down, and you own Asia Minor. Your launch isn't a bloodbath. Thank your analytics for no river battles like a hacked server crash. Issues, 333 BC, is your breakout hit. Darius III, Persia's CEO, rolls up with an army dwarfing yours. Think corporate giant versus indie app. The narrow valley evens the odds, and you play it like a chess grandmaster. Your phalanx pins their front, a steel wall, while you charge Darius with cavalry, speedrunning a boss fight. Dust clouds the air, screams drown out clashing bronze, and Darius bolts, his army crumbling like a breached database. You capture his family and treasury, but treat his kin with respect, a PR flex smoother than a corporate apology. Your win's no press release. Thank your CRM for no chariot chases like a viral TikTok fail. Egypt's a vibe shift. In 332 BC, locals, fed up with Persia, crown you pharaoh like you're headlining Coachella. Lotus flowers and temple incense fill the air, priests chanting as papyrus rustles. You found Alexandria, a city destined to outshine Silicon Valley. Its library, the ancient Google. No siege, just charisma and strategy, like nailing a pitch to VCs. Your expansion's not ancient. Thank your LinkedIn for no temple rituals like a bad networking event. Tyre's island fortress isn't so welcoming. In 332 BC, they defy you. Their seawalls smug as a paywall. You build a causeway, a literal road into the sea, over 7 months, catapults hurling stones as waves crash like a DDoS attack. Breaching the walls, you go dark. 2,000 survivors crucified, a warning louder than a trending horror clip. Saltwater and blood linger, screams haunting. Your PR's cleaner? Thank your X account for no mass executions like a cancelled influencer. Thebes, 335 BC, also feels your wrath. Their rebellion triggers a brutal response. You raze the city, kill 6,000, enslave 30,000. Ashes sting your eyes, captives' wails cut deep. It's ruthless, keeping Greece in line like a grim NDA. Your leadership's softer. Thank your HR policies for no city-raising ultimatums like a toxic Reddit AMA. Gaugamela, 331 BC, is your masterpiece. Darius's army, chariots, elephants, numbers like Amazon versus your Etsy shop, seems unbeatable. You pick a plane, feint a retreat, and lure Darius into overextending like baiting a bad bot. Your cavalry charge, aiming for Darius, dust choking your throat, steel clanging louder than a festival crowd. He flees, his army collapses, and you claim Babylon, Susa, Persepolis, their gold and incense yours. Your strategy's not war. Thank your dashboards for no elephant battles like a glitched strategy game. India's Hydaspes River, 326 BC, tests you. King Porus's elephants loom like tanks, the far bank a fortress. You sneak across at night, rain soaking your cloak, the river's roar hiding your moves. Elephants stomp, but you flank with cavalry, your phalanx pinning infantry. Mud smells of monsoon and blood, elephant trumpets chilling. You win, spare Porus, and ally with him, a deal smoother than a corporate merger. Your negotiations aren't muddy. Thank your Zoom for no elephant fights like a bad live stream. Your empire, Greece to India, is a cultural playlist bigger than Spotify's. You found Alexandrias like Starbucks franchises, blending Greek and local vibes. Hellenism as a viral app. You married Persian princesses, rock their style, and push your men to mix cultures like a global rebrand. Markets clink with coins, Alexandria's library hums with scholars, spices scent the air. Your vision's not ancient. Thank your global team for no cultural mashups via sword like a heated X debate. The shadows are real. Paranoia creeps in, like a buggy algorithm. You execute loyal generals like Philotas, suspecting plots, and tax locals like a predatory app subscription. Hephaestion's death in 322 BC hits like losing your co-founder, his funeral pyre thick with myrrh and grief. Your men, exhausted post-Hydaspes, refuse to march at the Hyphasis River. You turn back, a rare empathy flex. The desert march back kills thousands. Hunger, heat, disease, like a failed product launch. Your losses aren't epic. Thank your support network for no desert death marches like a grim TikTok vlog. In 323 BC at 32, you die in Babylon. Fever, poison, or wine, no one knows. Frankincense chokes the palace air, your breath fading. No heirs ready, and your empire fractures like a startup without a succession plan. Hellenism lives on, shaping Rome and beyond, your Alexandria's cultural APIs for centuries. You visit Achilles' tomb, inspired by his epic, and laugh when Diogenes tells you to get out of his sunlight. That's you. Warrior, dreamer, builder. Your legacy's no ex-post. Thank your digital footprint for no empire-shattering fevers like a viral obituary. You're Alexander the Great, a Macedonian kid who conquered Persia, coded Hellenism, and left a legacy no algorithm could match. Your wars were brutal, your vision epic, your empire a world's OS built from blood and dreams. Alexander's conquests blazed bright, but in India, Ashoka the Great traded blood-soaked battles for Buddhist peace. like a warrior turning wellness guru. What drove this emperor to swap swords for serenity? You awaken in Pataliputra, the heart of the Maurya Empire, around 304 BC, as dawn paints the Ganges River gold, like a perfectly curated Instagram sunrise reel. Jasmine's sweet musk weaves through the sharp tang of turmeric from bustling markets, sandalwood smoke from temple altars, blending with the earthy scent of monsoon-soaked soil. Your sandals slap against polished stone floors in a palace pulsing with ambition, its corridors alive with the clink of bronze armor and the murmurs of courtiers plotting like they're in a high-stakes corporate boardroom. You are Ashoka, grandson of Chandragupta Maurya, not yet the Great, but a prince with a fire in your belly and a destiny to reshape the world. Your rise isn't a LinkedIn promotion. Thank your team's trust for no sibling rivalries exploding like a startup's hostile takeover bid. Born into the Maurya dynasty, you're the son of Bindusara, the second emperor, and a mother whose name history half forgets, but whose fierce spirit courses through you. Pataliputra's palaces, with their carved pillars and lotus motifs, are your playground, but you're no pampered royal. The city buzzes like a Silicon Valley hub, its streets choked with merchants hawking silk, philosophers debating karma, and soldiers sharpening spears that gleam like polished pitch decks. You're not the eldest son. Susima, your half-brother, has that edge, so the throne feels as distant as a pre-seed startup landing venture capital. Yet your knack for strategy shines early. Sent to quell rebellions in far-off Taxila, you march through dusty plains, the air thick with the stench of unwashed troops and the jangle of war elephants. You crush the revolt with brute force and charm, punishing corrupt officials like a founder ousting shady execs after a whistleblower leak. Ujjain follows, where you tame a trade hub, securing roads and markets like streamlining a supply chain for next-day delivery. These wins aren't just resume flexes, they make you a contender, though your brothers eye you like competitors in a pitch-off. Your early victories aren't KPIs. Thank your mentors for no court intrigues cutting like a viral expose on Glassdoor. Your father's death in 272 BC throws the empire into chaos, like a tech giant losing its CEO mid-launch. The throne's up for grabs, and Susima's the favorite, backed by nobles betting on stability. But you've got the army's loyalty and a knack for power plays. The court becomes a chessboard. Alliances shifting faster than trending hashtags. Whispers of fratricide swirl. Did you kill your brothers, exile them, or outmaneuver them? History's fuzzy, but the body counts real. By 268 BC, you're emperor, your hands stained, but your crown secure. The air in Pataliputra reeks of intrigue and incense, the weight of a fractured family heavy as your new scepter. Your ascent isn't a corner office. Thank your negotiation skills for no palace betrayals stinging like a backstabbed alliance in a strategy game. Your early reign is all about expansion, like a startup chasing global markets. The Maurya Empire, already vast, needs tightening. You inherit Chandragupta's disciplined army, think Delta Force with war elephants, and a bureaucracy sharper than a data analytics dashboard. Your gaze turns to Kalinga, a coastal kingdom on the Bay of Bengal, rich in trade routes and defiance. Its ports hum with ships carrying pearls and teak, its markets rivaling a modern e-commerce hub. Conquering it means owning India's eastern seaboard, like securing a monopoly on cloud infrastructure. In 261 BC, you unleash a relentless campaign. Your army, a juggernaut of infantry, cavalry, and elephants, storms Kalinga's plains. Swords clang louder than a festival soundstage, elephants trumpet like air raid sirens, and the air chokes with dust, blood, and the acrid stench of burning villages. You win, but the cost is catastrophic. 100,000 dead, 150,000 enslaved, entire regions reduced to ash. The battlefield reeks of rotting flesh and charred wood, a grim reminder of your ambition's toll. Walking among the corpses, you see a woman clutching her dead child, her grief sharper than any spear. That image cracks your soul, a pivot point heavier than any boardroom failure. Your conquests aren't revenue spikes. Thank your ethics training for no war-torn regrets, haunting like a failed product launch gone viral. Kalinga's horror rewires your core. You embrace Buddhism, its dharma, compassion, justice, balance, becoming your new operating system, like a tech mogul pivoting to a purpose-driven brand. You carve edicts on pillars and rocks across the empire, from Himalayan foothills to Myanmar's jungles, ancient billboards etched in Prakrit, Greek and Aramaic, preaching tolerance and welfare. These aren't just royal memos, they're policy frameworks, slashing harsh punishments, pushing judges to favor mercy, like a reformer rewriting a justice algorithm. Your empire, stretching from Afghanistan to Bangladesh, transforms into a cultural crossroads. Its roads buzzing with traders swapping silk for saffron, ideas for incense. You build hospitals for humans and animals, dig wells, plant shade trees. Initiatives so forward-thinking they'd trend as a sustainability campaign today. The scent of fresh earth from new wells, the creak of carts on improved roads, and the chatter of grateful villagers fill your senses, grounding your vision in tangible change. Your reforms aren't policy briefs. Thank your project management apps for no stone-carved mandates, enduring like a timeless open-source repo. Your Buddhist zeal reshapes Asia. You sponsor the Third Buddhist Council in Pataliputra, standardizing scriptures like a dev team refining a codebase for scalability. You send missionaries, your son Mahinda to Sri Lanka, others to Thailand, Myanmar, even Greece, spreading Dharma like a viral marketing campaign with global reach. Your patronage sparks Gandhara art, fusing Greek statues with Buddha's serenity, a cultural remix that trends for centuries, like a genre-defining music collab. Lotus offerings perfume new monasteries, monks' chants resonating like a chart-topping podcast. You don't just rule, you architect a civilization, linking India to the Silk Road and beyond, your empire a hub of ideas and trade. Your influence isn't a cultural drop. Thank your streaming platforms for no missionary treks across continents, like a globe-spanning influencer tour. But greatness casts shadows. Your early ruthlessness, crushing rebels, taxing farmers, lingers like a one-star app review. Even after Kalinga, your empire's sprawl demands heavy levies, draining peasants like a freemium game with in-app purchases. You exile or execute potential threats, perhaps even kin, to keep the throne steady, the palace air thick with suspicion. Pataliputra's golden thrones and peacock gardens feel isolating. Trust is as scarce as a secure password. Your Buddhist pivot alienates some Hindu nobles, stirring court tensions like a divisive company rebrand. The weight of ruling, heavy as a war elephant, presses on you. Constant decrees, endless campaigns, and the fear of betrayal keep you vigilant. Your challenges aren't ancient. Thank your crisis management training for no noble conspiracies brewing, like a toxic subreddit flame war. A legend paints you as a king who listens. Disguised as a merchant, you wander Pataliputra's markets, the air rich with cumin and sweat, overhearing traders complain about corrupt tax collectors. You act swiftly, firing crooked officials and easing levies, like a CEO addressing a viral customer service scandal. Another tale, you promise a village tax relief if they rebuild their irrigation canals. They deliver, and you honor your word despite advisors grumbling, declaring, "A king's promise is stronger than stone." The fields bloom, your reputation soars, the scent of fresh crops mingling with villagers' cheers. These stories, perhaps half true, show a ruler who values trust over power. A leader who walks among his people to feel their pulse. Your leadership isn't folklore. Thank your user feedback surveys for no undercover market missions risking exposure, like a leaked company memo. Your diplomatic finesse is a masterclass. When Western tribes plot rebellion, you send silk, spices, and trade offers instead of elephants, turning foes into partners like a diplomat sealing a global trade deal. The scent of saffron wafts as your envoys charm rivals, their negotiations smoother than a high-stakes pitch on Shark Tank. Your empire hums with commerce from Kabul's bazaars to Bengal's ports, linking east and west like an ancient logistics network. You foster alliances with distant kings, your letters carried by couriers who race across royal roads, their hooves kicking up dust that smells of opportunity. Your diplomacy isn't just peace, it's a strategic API, syncing disparate cultures into a cohesive empire. Your alliances aren't medieval. Thank your networking events for no camel caravan treaties, sealing deals like a high-pressure sales pitch. By 232 BC, fever claims you at 72 in Pataliputra, your breath fading amid incense and silk. The palace mourns, its golden halls dimmed, as your empire begins to fray without your vision, splintering like a tech giant post-founder exit. Yet your legacy endures. The Dharma wheel, etched on your pillars, spins on India's flag, a testament to your vision of justice. Buddhism blooms across Asia, from Sri Lanka's stupas to China's temples, your missionaries' work echoing like a viral TED Talk with centuries of reach. Your edicts, carved in stone, are history's open-source records, detailing a ruler who pivoted from bloodshed to compassion. The Ganges flows on, carrying your story, warrior, reformer, human. Your legacy isn't a fleeting post. Thank your digital archives for no fevered exits fading like a forgotten blog in the internet's depths. You're Ashoka the Great, a Mauryan prince who conquered Kalinga, embraced Dharma, and coded a compassionate empire. Your wars were brutal, your reforms epic, your vision a world's operating system, built from blood, remorse, and vision. No algorithm required. Ashoka lit up India with compassion, but now shift to Rome, where Augustus transformed a crumbling republic into an imperial titan, like a CEO turning a failing startup into a global brand. How did this emperor redefine power? Picture Rome in 63 BC. Dawn breaks, the air heavy with olive oil and Tiber River funk, like a city beta-testing civilization on a creaky server. Your tunic itches like a thrifted fast fashion buy. Cobblestones bruise your feet. Roosters crow louder than a group chat notification storm. You're Gaius Octavius, a skinny kid from Velitrae, where noble means your family's got a few goats and a lawyer. By 27 BC, you're Augustus, rebooting Rome from a chaotic startup into a global empire. No Wi-Fi needed. Your grind's no TikTok flex. Thank your project management tools for no dagger-filled power struggles derailing your big pitch. Born into the equestrian class, Rome's middle management, you're no senator. Your mom, Atia, Julius Caesar's niece, gives you a backstage pass to his world. At 18, Caesar's 44 BC assassination flips your life. The Senate's a crime scene, blood pooling like spilled wine, senators bolting like ex-users during a platform crash. Caesar's will names you his adopted son, Gaius Julius Caesar Octavianus, handing you his legacy like a startup with no documentation. The air smells of wax and ink, Rome's elite glare, sizing you up like you've crashed their Zoom board meeting. Your inbox isn't a civil war. Thank your email filters for no inherited empire chaos, like a high-stakes reality show twist. You're in Illyria, studying rhetoric, when the news hits. Advisors urge you to hide, like dodging a viral smear campaign. But you sail to Rome, bold as a founder pitching with no MVP. At 19, you wield Caesar's name like a trending hashtag, using his cash to rally veterans. Their cheers louder than a Twitch stream hitting peak viewers. You're no soldier, pale, sickly, more coder than conqueror. But your mind's a supercomputer. You smell tavern wine, hear coins clink for loyalty, feel the weight of a name heavier than a maxed-out crypto wallet. Rome's sewers reek worse than a festival porta-potty. Your commute's a breeze. Thank your rideshare apps for no sword-drawn city treks like a glitched navigation app. Plutarch says Mark Antony, Caesar's top dog, mocks you as a beardless boy, like a boomer dunking on a Gen Z influencer. You don't clap back. You strategize. In 43 BC, you form the Second Triumvirate with Antony and Lepidus. A shaky alliance, like a group project where everyone's eyeing the lead credit. Your target, Brutus and Cassius, Caesar's killers. At Philippi in 42 BC, your illness sidelines you. But Antony's tactics and your funds crush the Republic's old guard. Blood soaks the fields. Swords clang like a festival mosh pit. And you're Caesar's heir, trending empire-wide. Your team dramas don't end in battles. Thank your Slack channels for no blood-soaked showdowns like a corporate turf war. The Triumvirate's a ticking time bomb. You run Italy. Antony's in the east with Cleopatra. Lepidus is stuck in North Africa, like a forgotten Jira ticket. By 36 BC, you outplay Lepidus, stripping his power like canceling a freemium subscription, leaving him a ceremonial title. Antony's the real threat. His Cleopatra romance, a tabloid headline. You spin a PR masterpiece, painting him as a traitor seduced by an Eastern witch plotting to hijack Rome. Coins and speeches scream "Save Rome" like a viral crowdfunding campaign. In 32 BC, the Senate declares war on Cleopatra, not Antony, a legal hack smoother than a corporate rebrand. Your PR moves don't spark wars. Thank your marketing team for no empire-wide smear campaigns like a trending smear thread. Actium, 31 BC. Your checkmate, Agrippa, your tactical genius, runs your fleet like a pro gamer dominating an esports final. Antony's ships jam up, morale crashing like a plummeting stock chart. Cleopatra bolts. Antony follows. Their fleet folds like a failed NFT drop. You take Egypt. its grain silos smelling like power. At 32, you're Rome's sole boss, crowds roaring like a sold-out arena, your armor glinting like it's got a Snapchat filter. Your career wins don't sink fleets. Thank your boardroom deals for no naval battles like a high-stakes esports loss. 27 BC. You restore the Republic, a PR stunt, handing power to the Senate while keeping the army veto in key provinces. Like a CEO faking decentralization while holding the keys. They name you Augustus, the revered one. Launching the Principate. You're not king, you're princeps, humbler than a LinkedIn thought leader. Rome's forum hums with marble dust. You rebuild temples and roads, turning brick into a marble masterpiece, like upgrading from dial-up to fiber-optic broadband. You smell chisels, hear hammers, feel a crown you never wear. Your rebrand didn't rewrite a civilization. Thank your design tools for no marble-chiseled city overhauls like a city planner's dream project. Your empire spans Spain to Syria, but you conquer smart, not reckless. Egypt's your breadbasket, grain ships feeding Rome like a global supply chain on steroids. You pick a loyal knight to run it, dodging a rogue senator's coup like a cybersecurity patch. In Spain, the Cantabrian Wars, 29 to 19 BC, grind on. Mountain tribes, like battling persistent malware. You and Agrippa win, unlocking gold mines richer than a tech unicorn's valuation. The Balkans get forts and roads, a firewall against tribal raids. You smell forge smoke, hear boots crunch, taste dust on marches. Scaling a team's tough. Thank your cloud infrastructure for no legion-led campaigns like a logistics nightmare. Diplomacy's your ace. Parthia, Rome's rival, holds standards from Crassus's 53 BC Carrhae disaster, a sting like a one-star company review. You don't fight, you negotiate, sending gold and flexing troops in Syria like a strategic LinkedIn post. In 20 BC, Parthia returns the Eagles, a win you splash on coins like a viral ad campaign. The air smells of ink and triumph, crowds louder than a live stream peak. You marry off kin for alliances, like sealing partnerships with royal stakes. Your deals don't need dowries. Thank your video calls for no cross-empire negotiations like a high-pressure investor pitch. Your reforms are a systems overhaul. You trim the army to 28 legions like a lean tech firm optimizing headcount, stationing them at borders like edge servers. The Praetorian Guard's your secret service. Urban cohorts and firefighters, your antivirus, keeping Rome stable. You split provinces, senators get stable ones. You control the wild cards like Egypt, like a CEO holding key markets. Taxes flow like a subscription model, funding aqueducts and roads that make Rome a 5G metropolis. Your Lex Julia laws push marriage, cracking elite scandals, even exiling your daughter Julia to set an example, like a founder enforcing company culture. Your HR doesn't banish family. Thank your employee handbook for no exile-level discipline like a strict corporate policy. You're a brand genius. Virgil's Aeneid and Horace's Odes hype you as Rome's savior, sharper than a Super Bowl commercial. Your statues, forever young, are like curated Instagram headshots across the empire. You rebuild 82 temples, erect the Arapacis, and boast, "I found Rome brick, left it marble." The Tiber sparkles, stone dust fills the air, crowds chant like you've dropped a chart-topping single. Your brand doesn't need marble. Thank your content strategy for no empire-wide statue campaigns like a viral influencer rollout. The dark side's real. Actium's carnage leaves bodies floating like a grim TikTok trend. Spain and Balkan campaigns crush tribes, blood soaking the dirt. You lose heirs, Gaius Lucius forcing you to pick Tiberius, like switching to a backup server. Your moral laws annoy elites, like overzealous content filters. Prescriptions purge rivals, your toga heavy with secrets. Your office politics don't involve death lists. Thank your legal team for no execution-level power plays like a ruthless corporate purge. Teutoburg in 9 AD is a gut punch. 3 legions lost, a system crash worse than a server outage. You pull back to the Rhine, a strategic pivot like reinforcing a cybersecurity protocol. By 14 AD, you're 75, dying in Nola with a quip. If I played my part, applaud as I exit. Your tomb looms like a verified X profile, the Senate naming you Divus Augustus, a god. Pax Romana, your 200-year peace, hums with trade and art, a global OS running smoothly. Suetonius sings your praises, your roads and laws shaping Rome for centuries. Your legacy isn't a fleeting post. Thank your digital archives for no empire-shattering losses fading like a forgotten blog. Your political genius shines in alliances. You join Antony and Lepidus, knowing they'll clash like co-founders fighting over equity. You ditch Lepidus with a smile, like archiving a dead Slack thread. Antony's Cleopatra romance is your opening. You paint him a sellout, coins and speeches your viral campaign. Actium's your checkmate, Agrippa's fleet your queen, the sea reeking of salt and smoke. Your rivalries don't need propaganda. Thank your coffee chats for no empire-wide smear wars like a heated Reddit thread. Your military strategy's sustainable. Egypt's grain is your revenue stream. Spain's mines your venture capital. The Balkans your security patch. You lead in Spain, the air sharp with pine and blood. Teutoburg teaches restraint. You pivot, saving Rome's bandwidth. Your scaling doesn't need armies. Thank your analytics dashboards for no legion-driven conquests like a high-stakes logistics overhaul. Diplomacy's your trump card. Parthia's standards are Rome's wound, but you close it with talks, not swords. The 20 BC deal's a coup, coins celebrating like a viral marketing drop. You marry kin to lock allies, like signing NDAs with kingdoms. Your contracts don't need royal blood. Thank your deal-making skills for no eagle reclaiming diplomacy like a tense boardroom negotiation. Your reforms are Rome's code base. You streamline legions, secure borders, tax like a SaaS model. The Praetorians are your admin access, provinces your microservices. You push values, exiling Julia to prove it like a CEO enforcing culture. Your policies don't rewrite society. Thank your management frameworks for no empire-wide legal overhauls like a regulatory pivot. Your cultural patronage is a branding win. Virgil's epics are your origin story. Horace's odes your hype track. Your marble Rome, temples, forums, aqueducts, screams empire like a tech HQ. You smell chisels, hear crowds, your legacy carved in stone. Your legacy doesn't need stone. Thank your branding team for no marble-carved monuments enduring like a timeless marketing campaign. You're Augustus, a Velitrae kid who outplayed Rome's elite, coded Pax Romana, and built an empire no algorithm could match. Your wars were brutal, your reforms epic, your vision a world's operating system forged from strategy and sacrifice. Augustus forged Rome's glory, but in the east, Qin Shi Huang welded China's warring states with ruthless ambition, like a tech mogul monopolizing a market. Who built an empire and a terracotta army? Imagine waking in 259 BC in Handan, capital of Zhao, where the air smells of coal dust and horse sweat, the streets buzzing like a pre-industrial server farm. You're Ying Zheng, a boy born to a Qin prince and a dancer, stuck in enemy territory like a startup founder in a rival's boardroom. Your sandals slap against muddy paths, the clatter of chariots louder than a group chat blowing up. Zhao's nobles sneer at you, a Qin hostage, their hostility sharp as a bad X review. By 221 BC, you're Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor, uniting China's warring states into one empire. No algorithm needed. Next time you're juggling a project deadline, thank your stars you're not dodging assassins to unify a nation. You're born into chaos, the warring states period, 475 to 221 BC, where 7 kingdoms, Qin, Zhao, Wei, Chu, Yan, Qi, clash like tech giants fighting for market share. Your father Zichu, a Qin prince, is a political pawn in Handan. Your mother Zhao Ji, a dancer backed by merchant Lu Buwei. Growing up in Zhao's hostile capital, you're a target, the air thick with intrigue and lotus perfume. At 13, in 247 BC, your father's death makes you Qin's king. But Lu Buwei runs the show, like a VC controlling a startup. You smell ink and wax in the palace, hear whispers of betrayal, and feel the weight of a crown you're too young to wear. When your inbox floods, be grateful it's not a kingdom under someone else's thumb. Your childhood's no Minecraft marathon, it's a survival game. Zhao's streets reek of danger, spies lurking like bots in a chat room. You study warfare and governance, your mind sharp as a quantum processor. By 21, you're done being a puppet. Lu Buwei's ousted, exiled to the boonies with a polite shove, like unfollowing a toxic influencer. Your mother's lover, Lao Ai, tries a coup. Bad move. You crush his rebellion, his screams echoing like a deleted subreddit, and banish Zhao Ji. The palace smells of blood and incense, your rule now ironclad. Your office drama's tough, but thank your HR for not requiring executions. From 230 to 221 BC, you launch a 10-year blitz to conquer the 6 rival states. Han falls first, its weak defenses folding like a startup with no funding. Zhao's next, its court fractured by your spies spreading fake news, like a viral X smear campaign. Wei's capital drowns under your diverted Yellow River, a hack smarter than a DDoS attack. Chu, the giant, crumbles under General Wang Jian's 600,000 troops, its fields reeking of smoke. Yan's king sends assassin Jing Ke, but you dodge his dagger like sidestepping a bad deal, then crush Yan. Qi surrenders without a fight, lulled by your fake diplomacy like a competitor buying your PR. By 221 BC, you're Qin Shi Huang, first emperor, uniting China under one banner, the air alive with cheers louder than a live stream peak. Your biggest win didn't need a decade of war. Thank your conference calls for that. You don't just conquer, you rewire China. You standardize writing, weights, and coins, like syncing a nation to one cloud platform. Roads and canals link your empire, like a 5G network for chariots. The Great Wall's foundations rise, a firewall against northern nomads, its stones smelling of sweat and dust. Your legalist laws, crafted with advisor Li Si, are harsh. Think corporate compliance on steroids, punishing dissent with whippings or worse. You burn Confucian books, bury scholars like a CEO purging rival ideas. The palace hums with scribes' brushes, your decrees sharp as a viral post. Your company's rebrand didn't unify a civilization. Thank your marketing team for that. Your military's a juggernaut, but strategy's your edge. Han's quick takedown in 230 BC sets the tone, like acquiring a weak competitor. Zhao's nobles, split by your spies, collapse like a hacked server. Wei's capital, Daliang, floods under your river diversion, a natural DDoS that starves them out. Chu's vast armies fall to Wang Jian's patient tactics, cutting supply lines like throttling bandwidth. Yan's assassin fails, and your counterattacks relentless like a cybersecurity sweep. Qi's king, lulled by gifts, surrenders like a user clicking a phishing link. You smell forge iron, hear war drums, taste victory's dust. Scaling a project's hard, but thank your cloud for not needing 600,000 troops. Diplomacy's your secret weapon. Northern tribes, like rogue startups, raid your borders. Instead of endless wars, you send gifts and arrange marriages, like signing NDAs with competitors. Your envoys, smooth as LinkedIn recruiters, neutralize threats with golden promises. Spies infiltrate rival courts, their coded messages faster than encrypted DMs, feeding you intel to outmaneuver enemies. The air smells of wax seals. Your alliance is tight as a blockchain. Your deals don't need royal weddings. Thank your Zoom for that. Your reforms are a masterclass in systems design. You divide China into 36 commanderies, like microservices reporting to you, the CEO. Governors, handpicked like execs, ensure no local warlord spawns a coup. Standardized coins and measures streamline trade like a universal API. Roads and canals, built by forced labor, connect your empire, their dust thicker than a construction site. Your legalist laws with Li Si's input enforce order, but dissenters face brutal penalties. Think content moderation with an executioner's axe. You smell papyrus and ink, hear laborers' groans, feel the empire's pulse. Your org chart doesn't need forced labor. Be grateful for that. You're a brand genius. Your title, First Emperor, screams ultimate power, like a verified X profile with infinite followers. The Great Wall, linking old fortifications, brands your empire untouchable. Its stones a flex louder than a Super Bowl ad. Palaces rise, their jade and bronze gleaming like a tech campus. You patronize no poets. Your deeds are the epic, carved in edicts like viral posts. The air's thick with paint and glory, your legacy a 4K monument. Your brand doesn't need stone, thank your social media. The dark side's grim. Your conquests leave rivers of blood like a grim TikTok trend. Chu's defeat alone buries thousands, their screams haunting the fields. Forced labor for the Great Wall and palaces kills countless workers, their sweat soaking the earth. Book burnings and scholar executions, 213 BC's cancel culture, silence dissent, but spark resentment, like a bad algorithm update. You exile your mother, purge Lu Bui's allies, your toga heavy with betrayal. Your office politics don't involve mass graves, thank your laws. Your obsession with immortality's your glitch. You chase elixirs, sending alchemists to distant lands, like a tech bro hunting biohacks. Mercury pills, meant to grant eternal life, weaken you, their metallic taste bitter as regret. By 210 BC, at 49, you die on a tour, your body smuggled back to Xianyang, the air reeking of decay and secrecy. Your tomb, with its terracotta army, looms like a verified X account, guarding your legend. The Qin dynasty crumbles soon after, but your unified China, roads, and laws endure. A 2,000-year OS. Compare that to X's culture wars, and thank your stars for free speech without empires to run. Your rise was brutal genius. At 13, you're a puppet king, Lu Bue pulling strings like a VC. By 21, you flip the script, exiling him with a smile, like firing a toxic co-founder. Laoai's coup gets crushed, your mother sidelined, the palace smelling of blood and power. You wield spies like a social media algo, sowing discord in Zhao's court. Your generals, Wang Jian Wang Bi, are your MVPs, their strategies sharp as a fintech app. Your hustle doesn't need purges, thank your coffee chats. Your military strategy's a masterclass. Han's quick fall is a market grab, Zhao's collapse a psyop win. Wai's flood tactic is a natural hack. Choose defeat, a logistics coup. Yan's pursuit after Jinki's failed hit is relentless, like a cybersecurity sweep. Qi's surrender, lured by fake peace, is a phishing scam done right. You smell smoke and steel, hear hooves thundering, taste victory's grit. Scaling doesn't need armies, thank your spreadsheets. Diplomacy's your trump card. Northern tribes get gifts and brides like strategic partnerships. Your spies, embedded in rival courts, feed you intel faster than a newsfeed. The 221 BC unification is your IPO, the heir alive with triumph. Your contracts don't need royal blood, thank your lawyers. Your reforms are China's code base. Commanderies centralize power like a cloud platform. Standardized systems, coins, weight, script are your APIs, syncing a nation. The Great Wall's your firewall, roads your bandwidth. Legalist laws with Lisi's genius are your OS, harsh but effective. Your policies don't rewrite society, be grateful. Your cultural legacy's a branding coup. The first emperor title is your logo, the Great Wall your billboard. Palaces and edicts are your content strategy, no poets needed. You smell chisels and glory, hear crowds roar, your empire a viral hit. Your legacy doesn't need stone, thank your cloud. The myths amplify your legend. A childhood dream of a dragon soaring, scales gleaming like a sci-fi hologram, fuels your ambition, like a vision board for an empire. Lu Bue's rumored sorcery, charms shielding you from plots, adds mystique, like a startup secret sauce. Your torch of immortality outside your palace burns eternal, a flex brighter than a neon sign. Your dreams don't need dragons, thank your vision. Your Qin Shi Huang, a boy from Handan who unified China, built the Great Wall and standardized a nation. Your laws were harsh, your wars bloody, but your vision coded an empire that shaped history for millennia, no algorithm required. Qin Shi Huang united China, but in Europe, Charlemagne carved a Holy Roman Empire with sword and scholar's pen, like a medieval CEO launching a cultural IPO. How did this king revive Rome's dream? Picture Aachen in 742, the air crisp with frost, the scent of wood smoke curling through a Frankish village like a Slack notification you can't ignore. You're Charles, soon to be Charlemagne, born to Pepin the Short, the first Carolingian king, and Bertrada, a queen sharp as a boardroom negotiator. The post-Roman world's a mess. Think a crashed server with warlords and tribes fighting over bandwidth. By 800, you're crowned Holy Roman Emperor, uniting Europe's fragments under one banner, no VPN required. When your project's a mess, thank your stars, you're not stitching a continent together. Your childhood's no TikTok scroll. Born in a Frankish stronghold, you grow up amid clanging swords and whispered plots, the air thick with tallow and ambition. Pepin's court buzzes like a startup incubator, grooming you for power. You learn Latin, Frankish, and a bit of Old High German, like mastering Python, SQL, and Java to run a multinational. At 26, in 768, Pepin dies, splitting the Frankish kingdom between you and your brother Carloman, like co-CEOs with clashing visions. The palace smells of wax and tension, your crown a heavy debug log. Your sibling rivalry's tough, but thank your group chats for not sparking civil wars. By 771, Carloman's mysterious death, whispers of poison swirl like a viral X conspiracy, hands you the keys to the Frankish Empire. You don't miss a beat, consolidating power faster than a merger. Your mother's diplomatic marriages, like LinkedIn connections, secure alliances, but you're no puppet. You smell parchment and steel, hear hooves pounding, and feel the weight of a kingdom now yours alone. Your promotion didn't need a dead rival, thank your HR policies. From 772 to 804, you wage a 33-year war against the Saxons, a Germanic tribe fierce as a DDoS attack. You blend brute force with forced conversions, like pushing a mandatory software update. In 782, after a Saxon revolt, you order the Verdun massacre. 4,500 prisoners executed, their blood soaking the earth like a grim data purge. Lombards fall in 774, their capital Pavia crumbling under your siege, like a competitor's stock tanking. Your empire stretches from France to Germany, Italy to Denmark, roads buzzing like fiber optic cables. Your expansion plans don't need massacres, thank your market research. You're a systems architect for an empire. You appoint counts and dukes as regional admins, reporting to you like project managers to a CEO. Your Missi Dominici roving inspectors are your cybersecurity team, sniffing out corruption. A unified legal code, the capitulary, syncs your empire like a cloud-based ERP system. Roads and bridges, built by levees, connect your realm, their dust thicker than a construction site. You smell ink and vellum, hear scribes' quills scratching, feel the pulse of a centralized state. Your org chart doesn't need feudal oaths. Thank your cloud servers. The Carolingian Renaissance is your cultural IPO. You found schools in monasteries, like coding boot camps for nobles and clerics. Alcuin of York, your chief nerd, standardizes the Carolingian minuscule, a font so clear it's like switching from Comic Sans to Arial. You preserve Latin texts, like backing up the internet's archive, and patronize art that blends Roman grandeur with Frankish grit. The air hums with chants and ink, your court a Silicon Valley for scholars. Your startup didn't revive a continent's culture. Thank your Wi-Fi. Your military's a well-oiled algorithm. Against the Saxons, you build fortresses like firewalls, cutting supply lines like throttling bandwidth. The Lombard campaign of 774 is a blitz, your army sweeping Pavia like a cyber attack. You lead from the front, your presence boosting morale like a CEO's all-hands speech. The Verdun massacre, brutal as a server wipe, crushes Saxon resistance. You smell smoke and iron, hear war cries, taste victory's sweat. Your leadership doesn't need battlefields. Thank your Zoom rallies. Diplomacy's your API. You marry daughters to Avar princes, like signing strategic partnerships. Gifts of gold and horses to northern tribes are your PR campaign, keeping borders quiet like a non-compete clause. Spies, like encrypted bots, feed you intel on rivals. Your alliance with Pope Leo III, cemented by your 800 coronation, is a masterstroke, merging church and state like a corporate merger. The air smells of incense and wax. Your deal's tight as a blockchain. Your negotiations don't need royal weddings. Thank your contracts. Your brand's a medieval viral hit. Crowned Holy Roman Emperor in St. Peter's Basilica, your title screams ultimate authority like a verified X profile with infinite reach. The Palace of Aachen, with its Roman-inspired arches, is your corporate HQ, gleaming like a tech campus. Your capitulary laws and schools are your content strategy. No bards needed. You smell marble and glory, hear crowds chant. Your empire a 4K monument. Your brand doesn't need stone. Thank your social media. The dark side's stark. The Saxon wars leave rivers of blood. Verdun's 4,500 dead, a grim hashtag. Forced conversions and temple burnings like a hostile content purge spark resentment. Your private life's a political chessboard. Multiple marriages like NDAs, secure alliances but leave little room for love. Illegitimate children stir court drama, like a leaked memo. You smell blood and incense, feel the weight of a crown forged in sacrifice. Your decisions don't cost thousands of lives. Thank your ethics board. Your legacy's coded into Europe's DNA. The Holy Roman Empire, born in 800, is your OS, running for centuries. Your laws and schools lay tracks for modern France and Germany, like open-source code for nation-states. The Carolingian Renaissance preserves knowledge, like a cloud backup for Western civilization. You die in 814 at 66 to 72 in Aachen, your body laid in a marble tomb, the air heavy with myrrh. Your legacy doesn't need an empire. Thank your digital footprint. Myths amplify your legend. Your sword, Joyeuse, glows like a sci-fi prop, its light scattering enemies like a DDoS defense. Your horse, Bayard, shifts sizes like a transformer, galloping you out of ambushes. A prophetic dream shows you atop a mountain, uniting Europe under one flag, like a startup pitch for a continent. A divine cloud shields your army, like a firewall from heaven. Your scepter, pulsing with mystic power, seals your divine right, like a verified badge. Your dreams don't need dragons. Thank your vision boards. Your rise was ruthless genius. Carloman's 771 death, maybe natural, maybe not, clears your path, like a competitor's sudden exit. You sideline rivals with the finesse of a corporate coup, your mother's alliances, your seed funding. By 774, you're king of the Lombards, your empire scaling like a unicorn startup. You smell betrayal and opportunity, hear trumpets, taste power's grit. Your hustle doesn't need purges, thank your mentors. Your military strategy's a masterclass. Saxon fortresses fall to your sieges like breaching a rival's network. The Lombard Blitz of 774 outsmarts Desiderius like a hostile takeover. You wield religion like a branding campaign, forcing Christian baptisms to unify your empire. You're on the battlefield, sword in hand, like a founder coding in the trenches. Scaling doesn't need armies, thank your analytics. Diplomacy's your trump card. Avar alliances, sealed with marriages, are your strategic partnerships. Gifts to Slavic tribes keep borders calm, like sponsored posts. Your 800 coronation, orchestrated with Leo III, is your IPO, the air alive with incense and cheers. Your deals don't need crowns, thank your email. Your reforms are Europe's code base. Counts and dukes are your APIs, syncing regions to your will. The Missi Dominici are your auditors, ensuring compliance like a GDPR sweep. The Carolingian minuscule is your UI overhaul, making texts readable across the empire. Your policies don't rewrite a continent, thank your frameworks. Your cultural legacy's a viral launch. The title, Father of Europe, is your hashtag, trending for centuries. Aachen's palace and churches, like Romanesque prototypes, are your portfolio. Your schools and laws are your open-source contribution, shaping nations. You smell vellum and ambition? Hear scholars' debates, your empire a cultural API. Your legacy doesn't need cathedrals, thank your cloud. You're Charlemagne, a Frankish boy who forged an empire, revived Rome's glory, and coded Europe's future. Your wars were brutal, your reforms epic, your vision a millennium's OS, no algorithm required. Charlemagne ignited Europe, but in England, Alfred the Great turned a Viking-ravaged land into a fortress of knowledge, like a founder saving his startup from collapse. Can a king fight and teach his way to glory? Picture Wantage, 849, the air sharp with autumn chill, damp earth and thatch heavy in a Wessex village like a grainy Instagram filter. You're Alfred, youngest son of King Ethelwulf, born into a fractured England, a glitchy Discord server of rival kingdoms. Wessex, Mercia, Northumbria, East Anglia. Viking raids crash in like DDoS attacks, relentless and brutal, their long ships spamming your shores. By 871 at 22, you're king, forging a nation from chaos. By 899, you're Alfred the Great, the father of England. Your legacy a unified app for a nation. Your kingdom's no TikTok trend, you're not going viral with a crown selfie. Thank your VPN for no Viking raids crashing your server. Your childhood's no Netflix comfort zone. Wessex hums like a war room Slack channel, swords clashing, Viking longships lurking like malware in the fog. You're the youngest of 5 brothers, odds of kingship slimmer than a beta tester's budget. You learn Latin, Old English, and bits of Norse, like mastering Python and SQL to crack a rival's code. Your father's court smells of mead and leather, your mind sharp as a debugger. Your mother, Osber, drills you in poetry. Ethelwulf in war, your dual boot upbringing. Your education's grueling, but thank your online courses for no Viking ambushes like a bad Uber pickup in a storm. By 871, your brothers, Ethelbald, Ethelbert, Ethelred, fall like dominoes to Viking axes or disease, their deaths hitting like a server crash. Ethelred dies after a brutal campaign, leaving you, the youngest, to inherit a kingdom under siege. You take the throne in a Wessex fort, the air thick with smoke and fear, your crown a rushed hotfix for a collapsing system. Whispers of your early alliances, Ealdorman quietly backing you, hint at a LinkedIn network built in the shadows. Your promotion's intense, but thank your HR dashboard for no sibling succession wars like a toxic family group chat. Your military campaigns are a resilience masterclass. From 871 to 878, Vikings under Guthrum hammer Wessex like a brute force hack, their raids flooding your defenses. You retreat to the Somerset Marshes, Athelney your off-grid AWS instance, hiding among reeds and mud. You rally locals, your feared militia like a crowdsourced firewall, forging weapons in secret like a dark web startup. In 878, you strike at Eddington, your shield wall solid as a load balancer, archers and spearmen shredding Guthrum's army. The air reeks of blood and mud. Your victory a patched zero-day exploit. Guthrum signs the Treaty of Wedmore, converting to Christianity, retreating to Danelaw, a DMZ for England. Your battles aren't Call of Duty. Thank your antivirus for no Viking raids like a relentless spam bot attack. Eddington's your unicorn moment. You pick the Wiltshire Hills, using rivers and marshes like a geo-fenced trap on Google Maps to slow Viking speed. Your shield wall holds like a fortified API. Your cavalry, Uber drivers and chainmail, smashing their lines. You smell sweat and steel, hear war cries, taste victory's grit. The Treaty of Wedmore carves England into Anglo-Saxon and Viking zones, buying you time to rebuild, like a system restore after a crash. You fork Viking tactics, blending their mobility with your discipline like open-source code. Your crunch time's less bloody. Thank your agile sprints for no shield wall slogs like a viral TikTok fail. Your burst system is England's cybersecurity suite. You build fortified towns, bursts, across Wessex, each a node in a defensive grid, like data centers with armed firewalls. Stone and timber walls rise, manned by rotating garrisons. You're fired on a DevOps schedule. Roads link them like fiber cables, boosting trade and troop movement. You smell sawdust and earth, hear hammers, feel a secure network hum. Burrs evolve into cities, their markets buzzing like e-commerce hubs. Your logistics a medieval Amazon Prime. Your defenses aren't medieval. Thank your cloud security for no Viking sieges like a bad server breach. You pioneer England's navy, a startup against Viking longships. Your ships, sleek and fast, patrol coasts like intrusion detection systems, blocking raids before they land. You train sailors, your CTOs of the sea, to outmaneuver Norse vessels in fog and storm. The salt air stings, waves crash, your fleet a beta test that scales. By 896, you're sinking Viking flotillas, securing Wessex's shores like a patched exploit. Your logistics don't need warships. Thank your DoorDash for no sea battle chaos like a botched delivery drop. Your reforms are England's codebase. You centralize power, appointing ealdormen as regional admins. Your laws a standardized API for justice. Courts and taxes sync Wessex like a SaaS platform, though peasants groan under levies like a predatory paywall. You smell ink and vellum, hear scribes' quills, feel the weight of a unified state. Your fired rotation keeps soldiers fresh, like auto-scaling servers. You rebuild shires, each a node in your governance network, streamlining justice like a cloud-based CRM. Your rule isn't feudal. Thank your project management tools for no vellum edicts like a crashed Notion board. The Anglo-Saxon Renaissance is your cultural IPO. You invite scholars like Alcuin and Grimbold, your academic VPs, to revive learning. Monasteries become coding boot camps, translating Latin texts, Bede Boethius, into Old English, like open-sourcing knowledge for nobles and clerics. Your court hums with parchment and chants, your laws and chronicles a GitHub for Anglo-Saxon identity. You smell wax and wisdom, your legacy a cultural Dropbox syncing faith and reason. Your startup doesn't rebuild literacy. Thank your Google Docs for no monk-scripted scrolls like a bad YouTube tutorial. Diplomacy's your API gateway. The Treaty of Wedmore, with Guthrum's baptism, is a strategic pivot, like onboarding a rival to your platform. You marry daughters to Mercian lords, securing alliances like partnership deals on LinkedIn. Spies, your encrypted bots, track Viking moves across Danelaw, their reports sharp as DMs. You smell incense and mead, hear envoys' murmurs, your deals tight as a blockchain. You negotiate with Danes and Welsh, your truces syncing borders like a secure API. Your negotiations don't need baptisms. Thank your Zoom for no Viking parleys like a hacked Discord call. Your brand's a medieval viral hit. Titled The Great, you're England's verified influencer. Your burrs and navy trending in chronicles from Winchester to York. Winchester, your medieval Silicon Valley gleams like a tech campus, its cathedral a 4K monument to your reign. You smell stone and glory, hear bards sing, your legacy a unified England's beta. Your title, Father of England, goes viral like a medieval NFT drop. Your brand doesn't need stone. Thank your ex-posts for no bardic hype like a cringy TikTok duet. The dark side's grim. Burrs demand heavy taxes and labor, like a forced Netflix subscription, draining farmers' fields. Your centralized rule, efficient as a CRM, widens wealth gaps, nobles thriving while peasants toil. Executions of Viking prisoners, like a data purge, send a brutal message, the air thick with blood and ash. Your chronic illness, maybe Crohn's, burns like a bug you can't patch, flaring during campaigns. Suppressing Mercian and East Anglian revolts, plants seeds for unrest, like unpatched code in your empire. Your taxes don't draft peasants. Thank your accountants for no surf uprisings like a toxic Reddit thread. Your personal sacrifices scar deep. You lose brothers to war, their deaths like crashed nodes, leaving you alone to code Wessex's survival. Chronic pain gnaws, yet you lead battles. Your resolve a debugged script. You smell death and mud. Hear your soldiers' cries, taste grief's bitterness. Your retreat to Athelney, disguised among peasants, is your dark mode pivot, rebuilding from nothing like a solo founder in a garage. You miss your children's lives, your heart stuck on a loading screen. Your losses aren't just dynastic. Thank your therapy apps for no marshland exiles like a depressing TikTok vlog. Myths amplify your legend. Your sword and shield said to be divinely forged glow like sci-fi props, deflecting Viking spears. A dream of a united England, seen atop an Athelney hill, is your pitch deck from God, verified by monks. A storm at Eddington, rain and wind scattering Vikings, is your heavenly DDoS defense. The burnt cake's tale, where you're scolded for ruining bread while hiding, is your viral humility post, trending like a medieval NFT. Your warhorses, blessed for battle, charge like Tesla Cybertrucks across muddy fields. Your dreams don't need divine storms. Thank your vision boards for no monastic hype like a preachy YouTube sermon. Your rise was no fluke. As the youngest, you were a dark horse, but Ethelred's 871 death mid-Viking chaos thrust you forward. You fought alongside him, building cred like a stealth startup's beta tester. Chronicles call you chosen, but your victories under Ethelred, small raids, skirmishes, hint at calculated readiness, like a prepped Git commit. You smell ambition, hear oaths sworn, your throne a patched system ready for scale. Your career doesn't need dead siblings. Thank your mentors for no palace coups like a shady LinkedIn power grab. Your military strategy's a lean startup. You burn Viking ships like cutting a rival's API access and execute prisoners to deter raids, a grim rate limiter. Eddington's shield wall and ambush tactics are your MVP, iterated in Athelney's marshes. You lead in person, your presence a morale API, your spies mapping threats like dark web bots. Your logistics, grain horses, run like Amazon Prime deliveries, feeding armies across Wessex. Your scaling doesn't need blood. Thank your dashboards for no Viking massacres like a viral TikTok fail. Your diplomacy's a masterclass. Wedmore's treaty splits England like a market carve-out, giving Vikings Danelaw while you rebuild. Marriages and bribes to Mercians and Danes are your strategic partnerships, keeping borders quiet like NDAs. Your envoys, sharp as encrypted DMs, sync with Viking chieftains, the air humming with deals. You negotiate with Welsh kings, your truces a secure API for peace. Your deals don't need crowns. Thank your Slack for no Viking parleys like a hacked Discord raid. Your reforms code England's future. Burrs and the Navy are your infrastructure, laws and courts your governance layer. Your translations of Latin texts, Bede, Boethius, Augustine, are your open-source libraries, preserving Anglo-Saxon identity. You smell vellum and ambition, hear scholars debate, your vision a nation's kernel. Your court's a cultural Dropbox, syncing Wessex's identity across generations. You fund schools, your monasteries beta-testing literacy for the next century. Your policies don't unify kingdoms. Thank your frameworks for no tribal flame wars like a toxic Reddit thread. Your legacy's England's source code. You die in at 99, at 50 in Winchester, your tomb heavy with myrrh and reverence. Wessex, your MVP, becomes England's core, your burghs its cities, your navy its shield. You're the father of England. Your laws and learning a cultural API for centuries. Chronicles and statues, from Winchester to London, are verified NFTs of your reign, your reforms seeding modern Britain. Your legacy doesn't need stone. Thank your digital footprint for no vellum-carved sagas like a dusty archive post. You're Alfred the Great, a Wessex boy who beat Vikings, built burrs, and coded England's unity. Your wars were brutal, your reforms epic, your vision a nation's OS, no algorithm required. Alfred saved England with brains, but in Germany, Otto first forged an empire from chaos, like a coder debugging a crashed system into a masterpiece. How did this warrior king resurrect Rome's shadow? Picture Walhausen, 912, the air crisp with Saxon frost, wood smoke curling from a timber hall like a low-budget Instagram filter. You're Otto, second son of Henry the Fowler and Matilda, born into a fractured East Francia, a chaotic Discord server of feuding duchies. Saxony, Bavaria, Swabia, Franconia. The Carolingian Empire's collapse leaves a power vacuum. local lords squabbling like rogue bots, while Magyar raiders, Vikings, and Slavs hit like zero-day exploits. By 936, at 24, you're king, crowned in Aachen's stone heart. By 962, you're Holy Roman Emperor, your legacy a unified app for medieval Europe. Your empire's no TikTok trend, you're not going viral with a crown selfie. Thank your Wi-Fi for no Magyar raids, your childhood's no Netflix binge. East Francia hums like a war-torn Discord server, Magyar hooves thundering, Viking sails looming. You're raised in a court smelling of leather and iron, learning Latin and Warcraft like dual-booting Python and SQL. Henry drills you in strategy, Matilda in piety, your dual-boot upbringing. You're not the heir, but your brother Thankmar's shadow sharpens your ambition, like a junior dev eyeing the CTO role. Your training's intense, but thank your online boot camps for no long ship raids like a bad Uber ride. In 936, Henry dies, and you're crowned in Aachen, Charlemagne's old HQ, the air thick with incense and ambition. You demand oaths from dukes, think forcing SaaS vendors to sign SLAs, crushing their autonomy dreams. Your coronation's a bold API call, centralizing power in a fragmented kingdom. Rebellion's flair. Thankmar, your half-brother, plots like a rogue insider. You crush him, his death a grim commit to your codebase, the air heavy with betrayal's sting. Your promotion's brutal, but thank your org chart for no family coups like a bad family reunion TikTok. Your military campaigns are a cybersecurity masterclass. From 937 to 955, you face Magyar raiders, relentless botnets, slamming East Francia's borders. In 939, you crush Slavs at the Unstrut River, your knights slicing through like a patched exploit, the mud reeking of blood. Augsburg in 955 sets the stage, your tactics a beta test for Lechfeld. There, you crush the Magyars, your shield wall a firewall, their arrows useless against your cavalry's DDoS counterstrike. You smell sweat and steel, hear victory's roar. Your battles are virtual, thank your antivirus for no mud-soaked massacres like a bad TikTok challenge gone wrong. Lechfeld's your unicorn moment. Near Augsburg, you pick a floodplain, using hills and rivers like a rate limiter against Magyar mobility. Your heavy cavalry, medieval tanks, smash their light horsemen, the air thick with dust and screams. You capture their leaders, execute prisoners, a brutal patch to deter future raids. The victory secures Central Europe, like locking down a critical server, and earns you the Great Badge. You integrate captured tactics, forking Magyar mobility like open-source code. Your crunch time's less bloody. Thank your agile workflows for no dust-choked executions, like a bad Instagram live. Your Italian campaigns, 951 to 965, are a strategic pivot. Italy's a chaotic Discord server, its lords and cities fighting like misconfigured bots. You march south, smelling olive groves and ambition, to rescue Adelaide of Burgundy, a widowed queen. Marrying her in 951 links you to Italy's wealth, like a blockbuster merger. In 962, Pope John XII crowns you Holy Roman Emperor in Rome, the Basilica's marble cool, your crown a divine SSL certificate. You're now Christendom CEO, your spies mapping Italy's feuds like Google Street View. Your mergers don't need crowns, thank your contracts for no papal drama like a bad TikTok feud. Your Burgal system, fortified towns like Magdeburg, is East Francia's intrusion detection. Stone walls rise, garrisons rotate like DevOps teams, linking trade routes like fiber optics. You smell sawdust, hear hammers, feel a secure grid hum. These burrs morph into cities, their markets buzzing like e-commerce platforms. Against Vikings in the north, your coastal forts hold like edge servers, repelling raids. You fortify Saxony's rivers, your logistics a medieval Amazon Prime. Your security's digital, thank your firewalls for no Viking raids like a bad Uber surge. Your reforms are a governance rewrite. You centralize power, appointing loyal bishops as regional admins. Think IT managers without dynastic bugs. Your laws, etched on vellum, are a standardized API for justice, curbing noble feuds. You smell ink, hear scribes' quills, feel the pulse of a unified state. The church becomes your DevOps team. Bishops managing lands with loyalty coded in. You tax peasants heavily, their fields drained like a predatory paywall. Your policies don't need parchment. Thank your CRM for no ink-stained edicts like a bad Pinterest board. Your Etonian Renaissance is a cultural cloud migration. You fund monasteries, medieval data centers, translating Latin texts, training clerics like full-stack developers. Magdeburg's cathedral shines like a 4K UI, spreading Christianity to Slavs. You smell wax and wisdom, hear chants, your court a GitHub for Carolingian knowledge. Scholars preserve Roman texts, your empire a cultural Dropbox syncing faith and reason. Your startup doesn't rebuild faith. Thank your APIs for no monk-scripted reboots like a bad YouTube tutorial. Diplomacy's your load balancer. Marrying Adelaide secures Italy like a strategic acquisition. You arrange noble marriages, corporate partnerships to bind duchies. Your envoys encrypted messengers negotiate with Byzantium and popes, the air rich with incense and deals. The church's backing, sealed in Rome, is your verified badge, amplifying your clout. You balance Magyars and Slavs with bribes and blades, your treaties humming like OAuth tokens. Your deals don't need cathedrals. Thank your Zoom for no papal drama like a bad TikTok duet. Your brand's a medieval viral campaign. Crowned the Great, you're Europe's blue chip stock. Your empire trending in chronicles from Aachen to Rome. Aachen, your Silicon Valley, gleams with stone and ambition. You smell glory, hear bards, your legacy a rebooted Roman Empire. Your title, Pater Europae, goes viral like a medieval NFT. Your court, a trending hashtag. Your brand doesn't need stone. Thank your ex-posts for no bardic hype like a bad YouTube collab. The dark side's stark. Your centralization taxes conscription, hits peasants like a forced subscription, their fields drained. Executing Thankmar, your brother, reeks of cold pragmatism, the air bitter with kin's blood. Italian campaigns burn resources like a bad crypto bet, straining your treasury. Your church reliance, while stabilizing, plants seeds for future emperor-pope clashes like a latent bug in your codebase. Suppressing dukes alienates Bavaria and Swabia, sowing unrest like unpatched exploits. Your taxes don't draft serfs. Thank your accountants for no peasant revolts like a bad Reddit AMA. Your sacrifices cut deep. Edgitha's death, your first wife, hits like a server crash. Her loss a 4-4 error in your heart. You smell her absence in Aachen's halls. Hear silence where her counsel was. Adelaide's marriage, while strategic, feels like a pivot from grief. Constant rebellions. Thankmar dukes, even your son Liudolf, force vigilance, your trust firewalled. You taste betrayal's ash, yet code on. Your life a nomadic SSH session through hostile lands. Your losses aren't dynastic. Thank your support networks for no family feuds like a bad TikTok family vlog. Myths amplify your legend. Your scepter, blessed by the Pope, glows like a sci-fi artifact, rallying troops. At Lechfeld, St. Michael's appearance scatters Magyars, a divine DDoS attack. A prophetic dream of a reborn Rome, whispered by monks, is your viral pitch deck. Your God-chosen aura, spun by clerics, trends across Christendom like an NFT drop. Your war horses, enchanted for battle, charge like Tesla Cybertrucks. Your treasury, spent on churches, is a moral crypto wallet. Your visions don't need saints. Thank your mood boards for no monastic hype like a bad YouTube sermon. Your rise was calculated. Henry's death in 936 hands you the throne, but Thankmar's rebellion tests your beta. You crush it, proving you're no interim CEO. Your coronation at Aachen, Charlemagne's stage, signals a new OS, centralized, unyielding. You smell ambition, hear oaths, your rule a patch system ready for scale. You sideline rival dukes, your court a lean startup pruning inefficiencies. Your career doesn't kill kin. Thank your mentors for no palace coups like a bad LinkedIn drama. Your military strategy's a lean startup. Unstrut and Augsburg debug border threats, your knights iterating tactics like beta testers. Lechfeld's your MVP, blending cavalry and terrain like a killer app. In Italy, you merge force and diplomacy, securing Rome like a cloud migration. You lead personally, your presence a morale API, your spies mapping threats like dark web bots. Your logistics, grain, horses, run like Amazon Prime deliveries. Your scaling's bloodless. Thank your metrics for no Magyar massacres like a bad TikTok challenge gone viral. Diplomacy's a master API. Adelaide's marriage locks in Burgundy and Italy, like a cross-border merger. Church alliances, sealed by your coronation, are your OAuth token for legitimacy. You balance Magyars, Slavs, and Vikings with bribes and blades, your envoys humming like encrypted packets. Your treaties, binding duchies, sync like a secure Discord server. Your negotiations calm amid chaos. Your deals don't need cathedrals. Thank your Zoom for no papal drama like a bad TikTok duet. Your reforms are Europe's kernel. Bishops as admins, burgs as nodes, laws as APIs. You code a stable empire. Your Etonian Renaissance open sources Carolingian culture, spreading Christianity like a viral app. You smell vellum, hear scholars, your vision a unified Christendom. Monasteries preserve texts, your court a cultural Dropbox syncing Roman and Christian legacies. Your policies don't forge empires. Thank your frameworks for no tribal flame wars like a bad Reddit thread. Your legacy's a continental codebase. Dying in 973 at Pfalz-Memleben, your tomb heavy with myrrh, you leave a Holy Roman Empire running for 800 years. East Francia, your MVP, seeds modern Germany. Your burrs its cities, your church alliance its soul. You're the father of Europe. Your laws a cultural API. Statues and chronicles from Aachen to Magdeburg are verified NFTs of your reign. Your legacy doesn't need stone. Thank your digital footprint for no vellum-carved sagas. Your Otto I the Great, a Saxon prince who crushed Magyars, rebooted Rome, and coded a Christian empire. Your wars were brutal, your reforms epic, your vision a continent's OS, no algorithm required. Otto first united Europe, but in the Middle East, Saladin, the chivalrous sultan, outwitted crusader kings with grace and steel, like a diplomat winning a Twitter war with one tweet, who reclaimed Jerusalem with honor. Picture Tikrit, 1137. The Tigris River shimmering under a Mesopotamian sun, dust swirling in a Kurdish family's courtyard like a glitchy Instagram filter. Your Salah ad-Din Yusuf ibn Ayyub, Saladin born into a military clan, your world a volatile Middle East, a decentralized Discord server of feuding emirates. Crusaders, armored and zealous, clash with Muslim armies over Jerusalem's sacred nodes, like hackers fighting for a blockchain's control. By 1171, you're vizier of Egypt. By 1187, you've crushed the Crusaders at Hattin, reclaiming the Holy City. Your Ayyubid dynasty's a secure app, uniting Islam against invasion. Your empire's no TikTok trend. You're not going viral with a camel selfie. Thank your Wi-Fi for no Crusader sieges. Your childhood's no Netflix comfort zone. Tikrit's mud brick walls hum with war's tension, the air thick with saffron, steel, and sweat. Your father, Najm ad-Din Ayyub, and uncle, Shirkuh, are Zengid generals. Think C-suite execs in a medieval defense startup. In Damascus, you train in cavalry tactics and Quranic verses, dual-booting combat and faith like a coder juggling Python and SQL. The Crusades rage, a geopolitical DDoS attack on Islam's servers, knights storming Palestine like spam bots. You're no heir, just a junior dev with ambitions simmering like a startup eyeing a unicorn IPO. You're not chilling with YouTube tutorials. Thank your online courses for no desert war drills. In 1169, at 32, you're Shirkuh's deputy, campaigning in Egypt, the Fatimid Caliphate's faltering hub. Shirkuh becomes vizier, but dies suddenly, leaving a power vacuum. You're appointed vizier, a surprise commit to Egypt's buggy codebase. By 1171, you terminate the Shia Fatimid dynasty, aligning with Baghdad's Sunni Abbasid caliph, like swapping Ethereum for Bitcoin. You smell ink and ambition, hear Cairo's mosques chant Sunni prayers, and found the Ayyubid dynasty, a new OS for Islam. Your reforms centralize power, replacing Fatimid loyalists with your team like a corporate reorg. You're not climbing the ladder on LinkedIn. Thank your org chart for no dynastic backstabs. Your military triumphs are a cybersecurity masterclass. The Crusaders, led by King Guy of Jerusalem, hold Palestine like a walled-off server farm. In 1187, you orchestrate the Battle of Hattin near Tiberius's scorched hills. You cut their water supply, a brutal rate limiter in July's heat, their knights wilting like overloaded CPUs. Your cavalry, Uber drivers in a sandstorm, smashes their lines, archers firing like spam bots. You smell dust and blood, hear scimitars clash and screams echo. You capture Guy, execute the brutal Reginald de Chatillon, and shatter Crusader morale. Jerusalem falls weeks later. Your victory, a patched zero-day exploit. You're not fragging in Call of Duty. Thank your VR headset for dodging the stench of battle. Hattin's your unicorn launch. You lure the Crusaders to a waterless plain, using terrain like a geofence trap on Google Maps. Your archers harass like trending X posts. Your cavalry charges like a blockchain transaction confirming victory. The true cross, their sacred relic, is seized, a stolen crypto key. You smell victory's ash, hear hooves thundering triumph. The win unlocks Jerusalem's gates, a spiritual node reclaimed. Your mercy, sparing civilians, ransoming knights, goes viral like a feel-good TikTok, earning respect even from foes. You're not crunching in a game studio. Thank your agile sprints for no desert death marches. Your campaigns don't stop at Hattin. In Syria, you besiege Aleppo and Damascus, throttling supplies like a DDoS attack. Your patience a long-running script. You smell siege smoke, hear crumbling walls as tribes submit. Yemen's emirs bow, your empire scaling like a global app store. Your logistics, camels, grain stores, optimize war like Amazon Prime deliveries, your spies mapping defenses like Google Street View. You integrate captured knights, their tactics forked like open source code, boosting your arsenal. You're not blitzing in Warzone, thank your drones for no camel-powered sieges. Your political genius is a governance reboot. In Egypt, you dismantle Fatimid bureaucracy, firing Shia admins like a startup purging legacy code. You unify Egypt and Syria, forging the Ayyubid Empire like a federated cloud platform. Damascus and Aleppo buzz like e-commerce hubs, their markets alive with spices and silk. You smell parchment and trade, hear the pulse of a united Islam. Your alliances, marriages, treaties are APIs syncing tribes and emirs, building a resilient network against crusader hacks. Your tax system, funding armies, hits peasants like a predatory paywall, but it keeps your empire online. You're not governing via Google Forms. Thank your SAS for no quill and ink chaos. Your diplomacy's a master load balancer. During the Third Crusade, 1189 to 1192, you face Richard the Lionheart, England's warrior king. You negotiate truces, exchange letters like encrypted DMs, and share mutual respect despite clashing swords. You free prisoners, treat civilians kindly, your chivalry a public key verifying your honor. The air hums with wax and treaty chants, smelling of diplomacy's cadence. Richard calls you a noble foe, your rep trending across Christendom like a viral reel. You're not signing NDAs on DocuSign. Thank your Zoom for no envoy assassinations. Your religious and cultural reforms are a data migration. After reclaiming Jerusalem, you restore Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock, their domes gleaming like a polished UI. You smell incense, hear Quranic chants, and foster coexistence. Christians and Jews worship freely, a rare multi-tenant app in a war-torn age. You fund madrasas like Al-Azhar, open-sourcing Greek and Persian texts, your scholars' DevOps teams for Islamic learning. You smell vellum and ink, hear debates in Cairo's halls, your vision syncing faiths like a Spotify playlist. You're not curating on Substack. Thank your cloud storage for no parchment archives. Your dark side's a system crash. Your taxes, funding wars, and mosques bleed peasants like subscriptions scam their fields drained. Centralizing Ayyubid power sidelines rivals, planting bugs for post-mortem feuds like unpatched code. Your execution of Reginald and harsh sieges, starving cities like Aleppo, reek of pragmatism. The air bitter with hunger's wails. Your Sunni shift alienates Shia factions, a compatibility error sparking unrest. You're not fixing tax riots on X, thank your accountants for no peasant uprisings. Your sacrifices are a personal blue screen of death. Decades of campaigns, Egypt, Syria, Palestine, exile you from family, your life a nomadic dial-up connection through hostile deserts. You smell campfires and myrrh, hear distant kin, your heart stuck on a loading screen. Dying in 1193, you leave no crypto wallet, only an empire. Your wealth burned on war and charity like a startup's runway. Your Damascus tune, simple, smells of duty and dust. You're not FaceTiming family, thank your Zoom for no 20-year goodbyes. Myths amplify your legend like a viral TikTok. Your helmet, blessed by mystics, glows like a sci-fi shield deflecting arrows. Your sword, forged with ancestral magic, cuts like an aimbot rallying troops. At Hattin, saints guide your strikes. A divine API calls scattering crusaders. Your war horses, enchanted for speed, gallop like Tesla Cybertrucks across dunes. Rumors of divine lineage, chosen by Allah, trend like an NFT drop, boosting morale. Your treasury, spent on the poor, is a moral crypto wallet. You're not chasing divine likes, thank your algorithm for no mystic hype. Your rise was a calculated fork. From Shirkuh's deputy to Egypt's vizier, you navigate Fatimid politics like a stealthy script, replacing loyalists with your squad. In 1171, you end the Fatimids, a bold pivot to Sunni dominance. Your loyalty to Baghdad a verified transaction. You smell ambition's ink, hear mosque prayers shift, your Ayyubid dynasty a new protocol. You build Cairo into a medieval Silicon Valley, its markets and mosques buzzing like a startup hub. You're not hustling on Upwork. Thank your mentors for no palace coups. Your military strategy's a lean startup. Haddon's your MVP, leveraging terrain and thirst like a geofenced exploit. Sieges in Aleppo and Damascus iterate patience. Your logistics a CI/CD pipeline of camels and grain. You lead personally. Your presence a morale booster, the air alive with your commands. Your spies infiltrate courts like dark web bots mapping rival plans. Your tactics blend force and psychology, starving foes into surrender like throttling bandwidth. You're not stress testing in Postman. Thank your metrics for no siege logistics. Your diplomacy's a secure Discord server. Marriages and treaties bind tribes like group invites, your envoys sealing pacts with wax and oaths. You smell incense, hear treaty chants, hear truces with Richard, sparing prisoners, oath tokens of chivalry. Your mercy, integrating captives, goes viral across Eurasia, earning Western respect. Your negotiations, calm amid war, are a diplomatic blockchain syncing foes and allies. You're not DMing on Slack. Thank your iMessage for no desert envoy treks. Your reforms are a cultural open beta. Restoring Al-Aqsa and madrasas, you code Islamic unity, your scholars pushing commits of Greek and Persian knowledge. You smell vellum, hear debates in Cairo's halls, your tolerance, Christians and Jews thriving, building a multi-platform empire, a scalable app for diversity. Your governance, blending faith and reason, is a cultural kernel for the Ummah. You're not beta testing on test flight. Thank your CMS for no tribal flame wars. Your legacy's a continental code base. Dying in 1193, your humble Damascus tomb leaves the Ayyubid Empire, a secure protocol for Islam. Jerusalem's restoration, Sunni unification, and chivalry seed modern Middle Eastern identity. You're the guardian of the faith. Your law is a cultural API. Statues and tales from Cairo to Istanbul are verified NFTs of your honor. You're not minting crypto. Thank your digital footprint for no stone-carved sagas. Your brand's a medieval live stream, titled Al-Malik an-Nasir, the victorious king, your Islam's blue-chip stock, your chivalry a meme across continents. Cairo pulses like a tech hub, your mercy at Jerusalem a trending hashtag. You smell glory, hear bards in Damascus, your legend trending from Mecca to France. Tales of your sword and mercy amplify your dual-edged vibe, ruthless yet just. You're not hyping on Instagram Live. Thank your algorithm for no Bardic Stan accounts. You're Saladin, a Kurdish warrior who unified Islam, crushed crusaders, and coded a chivalrous empire. Your wars were brutal. Your mercy epic. Your vision, a secure network for faith, no algorithm required. Saladin conquered with dignity, but now meet Genghis Khan, the Mongol storm who swept Asia like a viral post, building an empire bigger than any ex-influencer's ego. How did a nomad shake the world? Picture the Mongolian steppe, 1162, a sprawling server of grass and howling wind, where you, Temujin, are born under a meteor's fiery streak, a cosmic Instagram filter screaming, destiny. Your Borjigin tribe, a glitchy startup in a fractured network, crashes when your father Yesuge is poisoned by Tatar rivals. By 1206, you're Genghis Khan, coding the Mongol Empire, a global app sinking from the Sea of Japan to the Danube's edge. Your cavalry, Uber horses with no 5-star reviews, smashes empires. Your Yasa law's an uncrackable password. Your empire's no TikTok trend. You're not going viral with a selfie stick. Thank your Wi-Fi for sparing you steppe betrayals. Your childhood's no Netflix comfort binge. The steppe reeks of dung, frost, and desperation. Your family exiled after your father's murder. Your mother, Holin, claws through dirt for roots, her hands bleeding to feed you and your siblings. You fish frozen streams, hunt marmots, and dodge merkit raiders, each day a buffering wheel of hunger and cold. Captured by the Taichiud, you're locked in a wooden yoke like a banned account, escaping with grit sharper than a Reddit thread. You're not chilling with DoorDash deliveries. Thank your fridge for no starvation roulette. In your teens, you're a rogue coder in a buggy ecosystem. The steppes tribes, Merkit, Tatar, Naiman, clash like trolls in a Discord server. You marry Berte, your emotional VPN, but her kidnapping by Merkits crashes your heart's OS. You ally with Togrul and Jamuka, your blood brother, only for his aristocratic paywall to block your open source vision. You smell betrayal's ash, hear war drums, your alliance is shakier than a bad Zoom call. You're not DMing your squad on WhatsApp. Thank your group chats for no tribal ambushes. Your rise to power is a hostile takeover, not a startup pitch. By 1206, you crush Jamuka in a brutal merge conflict, your cavalry outflanking his like a viral meme. The Kurultai, a step TED Talk, crowns you Chinggis Khan, universal ruler. The air thick with sweat and loyalty's roar. You smell victory's blood, hear hooves thundering unity. Your empire's a global app store, syncing tribes into a unified network. You're not fundraising on Kickstarter. Thank your venture capital for no blood-soaked summits. Your military genius is a war machine, not a Call of Duty skin. Your cavalry, swapping 3 horses like browser tabs, races 100 miles daily, unstoppable as a trending X-post. In the 1206 Battle of Jamuka, you deploy hit-and-run stunts, your archers firing like spam bots, shredding his lines. You smell dust and blood, hear screams as you boil 70 nobles alive, a gruesome push notification to rivals. This viral warning tanks resistance, your strategy a patched exploit. You're not fragging in Fortnite. Thank your VR headset for dodging the stench of death. The 1219 to 1221 Khwarezm campaign is your Black Friday blowout. Shah Muhammad's slaughter of your trade envoys? A diplomatic phishing scam triggers your rage. You unleash 200,000 troops, a botnet swarm, flattening Otrar, Bukhara, and Samarkand. Their walls crumble like a bad firewall, the air choked with smoke and wails. You raise Nishapur, 100,000 slaughtered, skulls stacked like error logs, a psychological TikTok to terrify foes. Yet you spare submitters, your mercy trending like a feel-good reel. You're not cyber-warring on X. Thank your antivirus for no genocide cleanup. Your conquests keep scaling. Against the Jin dynasty, you besiege cities with stolen tech, your catapults lobbing stones like brute force hacks. You smell gunpowder, hear walls shattering. In the Russ's lands, Kiev burns, your cavalry sweeping like a viral challenge across the steppe. Your spies map defenses like Google Street View. Your logistics, dried meat, mobile yurts, streamlining supply chains like Amazon Prime. Captured engineers boost your arsenal, their siege tech forked like open source code. You're not blitzing in Warzone. Thank your drones for no frostbitten marches. Your political system is a governance reboot, not a Reddit poll. The Yasa, your uncrackable terms of service, enforces order across tribes, banning theft and mandating loyalty with brutal patches. Traitors boiled, deserters crushed. You smell parchment and justice, hear scribes scribbling your will. Your meritocracy promotes Turks, Persians, and Chinese, hiring for skills, not nepotism, like a startup's dream team. Your admin dashboard rules millions, from nomads to city dwellers. You're not governing via Google Forms. Thank your SaaS for no quill and ink chaos. Your YAM network, a medieval Starlink, syncs your empire. Relay stations spaced like cell towers, speed couriers across 5,000 miles, their hoofbeats a data ping. You smell horse sweat, hear relay horns. Spies infiltrate courts like hackers in a dark web, feeding intel to keep rivals offline. This system, paired with Yasa, keeps your empire streaming, from Karakoram to Samarkand. You're not texting on iMessage. Thank your 5G for no dust-choked Pony Express. Your economic vision reboots the Silk Road, a global Amazon marketplace. Controlling trade routes, you secure them like HTTPS, patrolling with cavalry drones. You smell spices and camel dung, hear caravan bells and bustling bazaars. Merchants thrive under your Pax Mongolica, taxes fueling your war machine like Patreon subs. This proto-globalization links silk to silver, syncing east and west. You're not selling on Etsy. Thank your next-day delivery for no 1,000-mile camel treks. Culturally, you're a Spotify playlist curator. You tolerate Buddhism, Islam, and Christianity, blending them like genre tracks. Scholars and artisans, spared from slaughter, enrich your empire, their ideas streaming like podcasts. You smell ink and vellum, hear debates in Karakoram's yurts. Persian astronomy syncs with Chinese gunpowder, your empire a cultural YouTube channel. You fund scribes, your DevOps team for knowledge, their quills live streaming progress. You're not curating on Substack. Thank your cloud storage for no parchment archives. Your dark side's a system meltdown. Your conquests Khwarezm Nishapur leave millions dead, cities erased like corrupted hard drives. You smell ash, hear widows' cries echoing over rubble. Boiling Jamuka's nobles and massacring resistors encode fear, but heavy taxes bleed peasants like a predatory paywall. Your centralized grip sparks bugs, rebellions flicker in distant nodes. The steppe tamed weeps blood under your boots. You're not fixing tax riots on X. Thank your accountants for no peasant uprisings. Your sacrifices are a personal blue screen of death. Campaigns exile you from Bertay and your kids, your life a nomadic dial-up connection through hostile lands. You smell campfires, hear distant kin, your heart stuck on a loading screen. Losing brothers and generals, like Joki's death, crashes your soul. Dying in 1227, you leave no crypto wallet, only an empire, your wealth burned like a startup's runway. Your tomb, hidden, smells of earth and duty. You're not FaceTiming family? Thank your Zoom for no 20-year goodbyes. Myths amplify your brand like a viral TikTok. A meteor at your birth, a divine NFT, brands you Tengri's chosen, your destiny trending in the stars. Your bow, shaman blessed, fires like an aimbot, piercing foes with unholy precision. Your warhorses, enchanted for stamina, gallop like Tesla Cybertrucks across deserts. A dream of uniting seas, a prophetic vision board, drives your conquests. Your treasury, spent on your people, is a moral crypto wallet, its value and loyalty. You're not chasing divine likes, thank your algorithm for no shamanic hype. Your military strategy iterates like a Twitch stream. Against the Jinn, you wield captured siege tech, your catapults DDoSing walls. In the Russ's lands, your cavalry's hit-and-run plays outmaneuver Kiev, your spies mapping defenses like a leaked game guide. You smell siege smoke, hear crumbling stone. Your psychological warfare, raising resistors, sparing submitters, spreads fear like a trending hashtag, tanking morale. You're not streaming on OBS, thank your cloud servers for no 1,000-mile campaigns. Your diplomacy's a Discord server with admin privileges. Marriages like Bertays link tribes like group invites. Your envoys sealing pacts with waxen oaths. You smell incense, hear treaty chants. Your spies, a dark web botnet, infiltrate courts, preventing rival mods. Your mercy, sparing artisans, integrating captives, earns loyalty. Your rep going viral across Eurasia. You're not signing NDAs on DocuSign, thank your Slack for no envoy assassinations. Your reforms are a cultural open beta. The Yasa, your crowdsourced constitution, unifies tribes with strict fairness, its code enforced from Mongolia to Persia. You promote literacy, your scribe's a GitHub team for governance, their quills pushing live updates. You smell vellum, hear scholarly debates. Your tolerance, Muslims, Buddhists, Christians, builds a multi-platform empire, a scalable app for diversity. You're not beta testing on test flight, thank your CMS for no tribal flame wars. Your legacy's a global codebase. Dying in 1227, your empire spans 12 million square miles, a geopolitical cloud syncing trade and ideas. The Pax Mongolica, your global uptime, fuels centuries of exchange. You're the father of Mongolia, your Yasa, a cultural API. Statues, like the 40-meter Colossus near Ulaanbaatar, and your face on Tugrix are verified NFTs. You're not minting crypto, thank your blockchain for no stone-carved sagas. Your mythic brand's a viral live stream. Tengri's blessing, a meteor streak, crowns you divine CEO. Your bow and horses, enchanted gear, rally troops like Twitch emotes. You smell glory, your epic songs in Karakoram's yurts, your legend trending from China to Hungary. Tales of boiling foes and sparing cities amplify your dual-edged vibe, ruthless yet just. You're not hyping on Instagram Live, thank your algorithm for no Bardic Stan accounts. You're Genghis Khan, a step-born coder of empires, uniting tribes, crushing foes, and wiring east to west. Your wars were savage, your laws enduring, your vision a global network, no algorithm required. Genghis Khan rocked the steppes, but in Istanbul, Suleiman the Magnificent ruled an Ottoman empire so grand it made rivals look like small-time TikTokers. How did this sultan blend law, war, and poetry? Picture Trabzon, 1494. The Black Sea breeze carrying salt and pine, dawn glinting off an Ottoman palace like a perfectly timed Instagram sunrise. Jasmine and sandalwood mingle with the sharp tang of harbor fish, the air alive with muezzin calls echoing like a viral podcast intro. Your sandals slap marble floors in a court buzzing with ambition, courtiers whispering like they're plotting a reality TV twist. You're Suleiman, son of Selim I and Hafsa Sultan, not yet the Magnificent or Kanuni, but a prince with a fire in your veins and a destiny to elevate an empire. Your rise isn't a LinkedIn promotion. Thank your network for no palace intrigues exploding like a toxic group chat drama. Born in Trabzon, a Black Sea outpost, you're the son of Selim the Grim, a conqueror who expanded Ottoman reach like a CEO scaling a startup. Your mother, Hafsa, instills piety and poise, her influence a quiet algorithm shaping your code. The palace smells of ink and leather-bound books, your education a boot camp in Ottoman Turkish, Arabic, Persian, Sharia law, poetry, artillery, and governance. Think dual-booting languages and strategies like a coder juggling Python, SQL, and JavaScript. You're groomed for rule, but your teens are hands-on. Governing Kaffa in Crimea, learning trade routes like optimizing an e-commerce supply chain. Then Manisa, where you hone tax collection and law enforcement like debugging a finicky app. Your training's in TETS. Thank your online courses for no governorship gigs like a high-stakes internship gone wrong. Selim I dies in 1520. You ascend at 26, a seamless handover unlike the bloodbaths of past sultans. Selim cleared rivals like a firewall purging threats. The palace in Istanbul hums with relief. No fratricide fireworks. You inherit a powerhouse, janissaries loyal as elite devs. A bureaucracy sharper than a data dashboard. The empire stretches from Syria to Egypt, but you pivot to consolidation, stabilizing borders like patching a leaky server. Your succession's smooth. Thank your org chart for no throne grabs like a corporate coup on Shark Tank. Your military campaigns are a masterclass in dominance. In 1521, you take Belgrade, Hungary's steel door, bombarding its walls with cannons like a DDoS attack on a fortified server. The Danube's waters churn, the air thick with gunpowder, and screams as your janissaries breach the gates. Belgrade falls, unlocking Central Europe's gateway. Rhodes in 1522 is next. The Knights Hospitalers Island Fortress, defiant as a paywalled app. You besiege it for months, your artillery pounding like relentless spam, until they surrender. You let them leave for Malta, a chivalrous flex trending across Europe. Your conquests aren't virtual. Thank your strategy games for no cannon barrages like a glitched Warzone match. Mohawks in 1526 is your breakout hit. Facing Hungary's King Louis II, you lead 60,000 troops across plains, your artillery a thunderous opener. In 2 hours, you annihilate their army. Louis dies in a river escape gone wrong. Hungary fractures, you claim the center as Budin Eyalet, Transylvania your vassal. Habsburgs grabbing scraps. The battlefield reeks of blood and trampled grass, your victory a geopolitical earthquake. Vienna in 1529 tests your limits. Rain and snow turn the siege into a slog, your cannons stuck like a lagging upload. You withdraw, but the threat lingers like a viral warning. Your sieges aren't sieges .io. Thank your apps for no weather-ruined assaults like a failed outdoor festival. In Hungary and the Balkans, 1540s, 1550s, you solidify gains. After John Zapolia's death, you seize Buda in 1541, turning it into an Ottoman eyalet. Fortresses along the Danube like checkpoints in a secure network. Transylvania becomes your buffer vassal, Habsburgs pushed back. Temesvar and Eger in 1552 mix wins and losses, but your Danube line holds firm. The river's waters smelling of strategy and blood. Your expansions aren't map apps. Thank your Google Earth for no fortress sieges like a bad navigation glitch. Against Persia's Safavids, you wage 3 campaigns, 1534 to 1555. In 1534, you seize Tabriz and Baghdad, the Euphrates banks echoing with cannon fire. You smell desert dust and incense as you restore Sunni mosques, countering Shia influence. The Amasya Treaty in 1555 draws borders. Your diplomacy, a truce like a corporate ceasefire. Your rivalries aren't boardroom. Thank your Zoom for no desert marches like a failed team-building retreat. Your Mediterranean Navy, under Barbarossa and Turgut Reis, dominates like a streaming giant. Preveza in 1538 crushes the Holy League's fleet. Your galleys outmaneuvering like pros in an esports tourney. The Black Sea and Red Sea become Ottoman lakes, controlling trade from Aden to Algiers. You seize Tunis and Tripoli. Your admirals pirates turned admirals like startup founders gone corporate. The sea air stings with salt and gunpowder. Your empires reach global. Your naval wins aren't Sea of Thieves. Thank your simulators for no cannon duels like a pirate-themed TikTok fail. Your legal reforms earn Kanuni, the lawgiver. With Ebu Suud Effendi, you harmonize Sharia and Kanun, like blending codebases for a seamless app. Kanunnam standardizes taxes, land rights, and justice, curbing corruption like antivirus software. Your Divan Council, with grand viziers like Ibrahim and Ristam, runs like a C-suite meeting. Ayalets and Sankaks, provinces and districts sync the empire. Tahrir registers tracking taxes like a CRM database. You smell ink and wax, hear scribes, your laws a unified protocol. Your reforms aren't edicts. Thank your legal apps for no vellum codes like a dusty contract binder. Your administration is a masterclass. The divan hums with viziers, defterdars managing finances like CFOs, kazaskers overseeing justice. You rotate officials to prevent corruption like shuffling a team to avoid silos. Tahrir defterlery, land surveys, standardized taxes, ensuring fair levies like a balanced budget app. Your Menzel system, relay posts, speeds messages like express mail, couriers galloping across islets. The air carries parchment and horse sweat, your empire's pulse steady. Your bureaucracy's not medieval. Thank your project tools for no relay races like a delayed Amazon package. Economy thrives under your watch. Capitulations with France in 1536, open trade, French merchants getting perks like VIP passes in Ottoman ports. You protect the Silk Road and Red Sea routes, your navy patrolling like Coast Guard drones. Bursa's silk and Iznik ceramics boom, guilds crafting like artisan Etsy shops. You smell spices and gold, hear market haggling, your treasury swelling. Your trade's not ancient. Thank your e-commerce for no caravan risks like a bad Uber Eats delivery. Culture flourishes, your patronage a golden age. Mimar Sinan builds Suleymaniye Mosque, a complex with schools, libraries, hospitals, like a medieval campus. Shehzada Mosque honors your son Mehmed, its domes gleaming like polished apps. You pen poetry as Muhibi, your verses flowing like a sultan's Spotify playlist. Calligraphy, music, and astronomy thrive. Your court, a Renaissance hub. You smell paint and ink, hear lutes, your legacy etched in stone and verse. Your arts aren't ancient. Thank your streaming services for no mosque builds like a grand architecture fail. Private life's a soap opera. Hurrem Sultan, your beloved Roxolana, rises from slave to queen, breaking traditions like a disruptor in a stuffy industry. Her influence sparks rumors. She's a witch enchanting you. Ibrahim Pasha, your grand vizier and bro, gets executed in 1536 amid whispers of overreach. His death a palace scandal. Prince Mustafa's 1553 execution, your son with Mahidevran, rips your family. Hurrem's scheming blamed like a court intrigue plot twist. Bayezid rebels, fleeing to Persia only to be handed over and executed in 1561. The harem's tensions, like a reality TV feud, leave you isolated. Your dramas aren't scripted. Thank your family chats for no harem plots like a toxic group DM. You die in 1566 during the Sigetvar siege. Your death hidden to maintain morale, like a CEO's passing kept quiet during a launch. Buried beside Hurrem and Suleymaniye, your tomb smells of myrrh and regret. Your palace mourns, but your empire peaks under you. Your end's not sudden. Thank your healthcare for no battlefield deaths like a grim finale twist. Your legacy's Ottoman gold. Territories from Budapest to Baghdad. Your laws, Kanunum, a codebase for centuries. Eyalet, standardized rule. Your divan, a governance template. Culture blooms. Sinan's mosques like architectural NFTs. Magnificent in the west, Kanuni at home. Your rule a peak. Your impact's not fleeting. Thank your history books for no empire declines like a fading viral trend. Your Suleiman the Magnificent, a Trabzon prince who conquered continents, coded laws, and built an empire no algorithm could match. Your wars were brutal, your reforms epic, your vision a world's OS, forged from strategy and sacrifice, no algorithm required. Suleiman dazzled the Ottomans, but in Joseon, Korea, Sejong the Great crafted an alphabet and sparked a golden age, like a tech visionary coding a nation's future. How did words become a king's greatest weapon? Imagine Han Seong in 1397, cherry blossoms drifting through a palace courtyard like whispered secrets in a royal scroll. Pine from nearby hills blends with the smoky aroma of street vendors' grilled mackerel, the Han River shimmering under dawn like polished jade in a scholar's study. Your sandals echo on wooden floors in a court alive with ambition, courtiers murmuring like scribes drafting edicts. Your Yido, born May 7, third son of Taejong and Queen Wongyong, not born to rule, but a prince with a mind sharp as a calligrapher's brush. Your childhood is no idle stroll through temple gardens. Bless your tutors for guiding you through Confucian classics, instead of letting palace intrigues ensnare you like a tangled kite in a storm. Born in the palace, you're the son of Taejong, Joseon's third king, a military strategist who forged stability with an iron will, consolidating power like a mason shaping stone for a fortress. Your mother, Wang Yang of the Yohun Min clan, instills Confucian virtue and intellectual rigor, her guidance a steady hand like a master archer's aim. As a prince, you're immersed in Hanja, Confucian texts, military tactics and governance, studying as diligently as a farmer plowing fields before the rains. You're not the heir. Elder brother Yijie holds that title. But Taizong's calculated moves, exiling Yijie for unfitness and easing Yibo aside, carve your path to the throne. By 1418 at 21, you're crowned Sejong. Your rise is smooth as a river's flow after a dam's release. Taizong remains regent until 1422, a vigilant guardian ensuring your throne stands firm against noble factions or border threats. Joseon's young but fragile. Yangban nobles wield power like warlords guarding fiefs. Agriculture sways with the season's whims. Jurchen tribes raid the north like wolves at a village's edge. And Ming China looms, demanding tribute like a creditor collecting dues. You smell ink and incense in Zhongbokgung, your court a tapestry of loyalists and opportunists. Your coronation is no chaotic festival. Bless your father's foresight for securing your reign, unlike a kingdom fractured by rival claims like a shattered ceramic vase. You shift from stabilizing to transforming, aiming to centralize authority, advance knowledge, and uplift your people. You streamline bureaucracy like a scholar organizing a library's scrolls. Expanding Guazhou exams, you prioritize merit over lineage, choosing officials as carefully as a jeweler selects gems, not favoring noble names. You craft laws to protect farmers, adjusting taxes to reflect harvests like a weaver tailoring cloth to fit. Corruption is your foe. You demand local officials report directly, cutting through intermediaries like a sword-slicing knotted rope. Punishments grow lenient, fewer executions, more chances for reform, rooted in Confucian faith in human growth. You hear scribes' brushes and smell fresh ink, your edicts sowing justice. Grain reserves, chengchu, store rice for famines, like a village granary guarding against winter's bite. The air carries the scent of stored grain, ensuring villages endure lean years. Your anti-corruption patrols and clear tax records keep officials honest, like a vigilant watchman guarding a treasury. Your governance is no mere proclamation. Bless your reforms for stabilizing the land, unlike a kingdom plagued by greed like a field overrun by locusts. Knowledge flourishes under your care. Jipyeonjeon, your council of scholars like Zhang Ingji and Zhang Young-sil, is a crucible of ideas, forging progress like a smith crafting steel. The air hums with debate and the clink of metal tools. They create Jagyokru, a water clock, striking hours like temple bells marking prayer, and Ongbulgu sundials for public timekeeping. In 1441, Chogugi, the world's first rain gauge, measures rainfall like a farmer tracking season's gifts. Honcheone, a celestial globe, charts stars for rituals and planting, like a navigator's map guiding ships. Your workshops are no idle studies. Bless your scholars for crafting tools, unlike fruitless debates cluttering minds like dust on forgotten scrolls. You advance printing with refined metal movable type, producing books as swiftly as a stream feeds rice paddies. Hainyak Jipseongbang compiles herbal remedies, spreading healing like a physician tending a village. Military technology evolves. Cannons, muskets, and naval guns, drawn from Ming and Western traders, arm your forces like a fortress stocked with spears. The palace workshops resonate with innovation, your vision blending ancient wisdom with new craft. Your inventions are no fleeting sketches. Bless your artisans for forging progress, unlike stagnant kingdoms left behind like unturned soil. The northern border bristles with danger. Jurchen raids strike like sudden frosts on crops. You fortify it with garrisons and signal towers, like sentinels guarding a pass. In 1433, General Kim Jong-seo defeats Jurchen forces, extending Joseon's borders to the Yalu and Tumen rivers, near modern Korea's frontiers. The air carries gunpowder's sting and blood's iron tang. Your troops are disciplined as a falcon, trained for the hunt. You settle colonists in the 4 counties, 6 garrisons, turning wilderness into fields like a gardener taming rugged land. Naval upgrades, warships doubling as trade vessels, curb Woku pirates, securing coasts like a lock on a merchant's chest. The sea smells of salt and victory. Your ports bustle. Your campaigns are no reckless ventures. Bless your generals for securing borders, unlike kingdoms faltering under raids like a house breached by thieves. Agriculture sustains Joseon with 80% of your people tilling fields. You commission Nongsa Jiksol, 1429, a farming guide suited to Korea's climate, like a master farmer sharing secrets of the soil. It details crop rotation, pest control, and cold-resistant rice, boosting yields like a well-timed rain. You promote mulberry and herbs, diversifying crops like a merchant balancing wares. Tax relief aids farmers during droughts, keeping them rooted like sturdy oaks. You smell fresh earth and hear market chatter. Your policies fill granaries and trade routes. Your economy is no fragile market. Bless your reforms for nourishing the land, unlike barren fields yielding only hunger. Justice bends toward mercy. You revise criminal codes, sparing lives for lesser crimes, like a judge tempering punishment with wisdom. Transparent laws curb corruption. Your edicts foster equity like a scale balanced with care. Your laws are no rigid decrees. Bless your reforms for guiding justly, unlike harsh rulers crushing spirits like stones grinding grain. Culture thrives under your patronage. You standardize Jongunbo notation for court music, harmonizing rituals like a lute tuned for a festival. Dongguk Jungun refines pronunciation, like a scribe perfecting calligraphy. Art, astronomy, and medicine bloom, your court a garden of creativity. Your arts are no fleeting performances. Bless your patronage for enriching souls, unlike kingdoms dimmed by neglect like a lantern low on oil. Diplomacy is your bridge to stability. With Ming China, Sadai exchanges tribute for recognition and knowledge, like a scholar borrowing texts to expand his library. Envoys return with astronomy and medicine books, fueling Jipyeonjun. You secure northern borders, negotiating to avoid Ming conflicts. With Japan, Jorin regulates Tsushima trade, curbing Woku with permits and patrols, like a gatekeeper checking travelers' seals. The sea carries the scent of salt and commerce. Your ports thrive. Your diplomacy is no mere courtesy. Bless your envoys for weaving peace, unlike kingdoms torn by mistrust like frayed silk. Your greatest gift is Hangul, unveiled in 1446 as Hunminjung, sounds to instruct the people. Hanja's complexity bars commoners like a locked archive, keeping knowledge from the masses. You design a script, 14 consonants, 10 vowels, shaped by the mouth's movements, logical as a carpenter's precise cuts. A farmer masters it in days, not years. Yongbyo Chonga, a 1447 epic, and Buddhist poems spread literacy like seeds scattered on fertile ground. Yangban elites resist, guarding their privilege. But you promote Hangul with free primers and annotations, like a teacher opening a school to all. The palace smells of fresh ink. Your script is a quiet revolution. UNESCO honors it as a memory of the world. Your creation, a linguistic cornerstone for Korea. Your alphabet is no mere script. Bless your vision for unlocking minds, unlike kingdoms bound by elite gates like a sealed vault. Your personal life blends devotion with struggle. You study late into the night despite diabetes and chronic pain, like a scholar burning candles to finish a manuscript. You father 4 sons and daughters. Your heir Munjong rules briefly before his death. You grant serfs maternity leave, 100 days post-birth, 30 for husbands. A humane policy far ahead of its time, like a healer tending to the overlooked. The heir carries herbal remedies. Your resolve is steadfast despite fading health. Your life is no simple tale. Bless your strength for enduring trials, unlike weaker spirits faltering like a reed in a gale. In your final years, illness confines you. Your son Munjong manages affairs. You die on April 8, 1450, at 53, after 32 years of rule, buried in Yeongnyeong near Yeoju. The palace air grows heavy with myrrh and grief, but your reforms endure. Your passing is no sudden end. Bless your legacy for outlasting time, unlike fleeting rains fading like ink on worn parchment. Your legacy is Joseon's golden thread. Hangul Day on October 9th celebrates your script, a UNESCO treasure. Your face graces 10,001 notes. Your statue at Gwanghwamun, a national beacon. Awards bear your name. Science, agriculture, and culture flourish under your vision, marking Joseon's zenith. Your impact is no passing mark. Bless your reign for shaping a nation. Unlike forgotten kings lost like dust in a storm, your throne, though stable, rests on Taejong's calculated purges, removing rivals like a gardener pruning wayward branches. Jurchen campaigns while securing borders displaced thousands, villages burned like fields caught in a blaze. Hangul faces Yangban opposition, your decrees enforced with royal authority like a magistrate quelling dissent. You uphold Joseon's strict hierarchy, separating serfs and nobles like a river divides banks. Your love for meat, defying Confucian restraint, worsens your health, a personal flaw amid triumphs. Your rule is no flawless saga. Bless your pragmatism for balancing ideals and power, unlike naive rulers toppled like unsteady towers. Stories swirl around you. You conduct Korea's first public survey, adjusting taxes based on 57.1% approval, like a wise elder heeding village voices. As a young scholar, your book obsession prompts Taejong to seize your library. Yet you wear out a hidden text, like a poet cherishing a single verse. Your love for meat sparks court whispers, even during mourning rites. Gyeongyeon debates, over 600, see you spar with scholars, like a master dueling with words. Rumors hint Hangul drew from Fagspa script, yet scholars affirm your originality, like a craftsman claiming his unique design. Lost drafts of Hangul fuel mystery, like a scroll hidden in a temple's depths. Modern voices jest you'd win a K-pop idol poll, your statue too grand to ignore. Your tales are no mere legends. Bless your life for inspiring awe, unlike forgotten stories fading like echoes in a valley. Your military strategy is disciplined precision. Forts along the Yalu deter Jurchen threats, like watchtowers guarding a harvest. In 1433, Kim Jong-seo's victories expand borders, like a cartographer redrawing maps. Naval warships, doubling as trade vessels, suppress Wokou pirates, like a fleet securing trade routes. The air carries gunpowder's bite. Your forces honed like a blade sharpened for battle. Your defenses are no mere barricades. Bless your strategy for safeguarding the land, unlike kingdoms crumbling like mud walls in rain. Diplomacy weaves your alliances. Sade with Ming China trades tribute for knowledge, like a merchant bartering for rare goods. Envoys bring books on astronomy and medicine, enriching Jipyeonjeon like a library gaining new volumes. With Japan, Gyorin regulates Tsushima trade, curbing pirates with permits and patrols, like a harbor master securing docks. Your ports thrive, scented with salt and commerce. Your pacts are no fragile vows. Bless your envoys for forging stability, unlike kingdoms undone by broken trusts like cracked pottery. Your reforms shape Joseon's core. Jipyeonjeon, your hub of scholars, drives progress like a workshop crafting tools for a nation. Nongsa Jiksol guides farmers like a seasoned elder teaching planting seasons. Yanyak Jipsongban compiles remedies, like a healer sharing cures with a village. The air hums with ink and herbs. Your vision, a nation's foundation. Your innovations are no fleeting sparks. Bless your wisdom for building a legacy, unlike kingdoms stalled like unplowed fields. You are Sejong the Great, a prince who scripted Hangul, fortified borders and cultivated a golden age. Your vision, blending knowledge, justice, and culture, wove a legacy that endures. No dynasty's fall could unravel. Sejong scripted Korea's rise. But in India, Akbar the Great wove Hindus, Muslims, and Jains into an empire as vibrant as a Bollywood blockbuster. How did a boy king conquer with tolerance and steel? Picture yourself in Agra, 1556, standing in a marble hall, where the air smells of sandalwood, rosewater, and ambition thicker than a startup's pitch deck at a venture capital summit. You're not just any ruler, you're Akbar. A 13-year-old boy king, thrust onto a throne shakier than a crypto exchange during a market crash. Your empire's a chaotic patchwork of warlords, rebels, and dusty forts. Like a medieval version of a dysfunctional group chat blowing up on WhatsApp. You're not here to sip sherbet and nod through courtly poems. You're Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar, soon to be Akbar the Great, destined to transform the Mughal Empire into a glittering superpower. With wit, steel, and a vision so bold it makes modern CEOs look like interns fumbling a PowerPoint. Forget Bollywood's jeweled emperors lounging in palaces. This is the saga of how Akbar, against a backdrop of swords and schemers, built an empire that dazzled the world, earning him a legacy shinier than a viral TikTok. Born in 1542, in a dusty Umarkot tent, you're the son of Humayun, a Mughal emperor exiled by Sher Shah Suri's hostile takeover. Like a startup founder ousted by a rival board, your cradle's no luxury bassinet. It's a straw mat in a war zone, rocking to war drums and your mom's prayers against the Sindh desert's heat. Childhood's no fairy tale. You're raised on the run, dodging assassins, learning Persian, Arabic, and Turkey, to navigate a court where a wrong word could mean a dagger in the dark. The air smells of camel sweat and betrayal, as your dad fights to reclaim his throne. Finally winning Delhi in 1555, only to die a year later, leaving you, a 13-year-old, to pick up the pieces. You're not playing Roblox or chilling with Netflix. You're memorizing battle tactics, charming Rajput chiefs to survive. Bless your cozy childhood for sleepovers and snacks, unlike Akbar, who learned to rule by outsmarting regents sharper than a blockchain's encryption. Crowned in 1556, you inherit an empire smaller than a modern startup's office space, with Hemu's army eyeing Delhi like it's Black Friday at a tech store. Your regent, Bairam Khan, pulls the strings. But you're no puppet. At 18, you yeet Bairam to Mecca. Diplomatically, of course, like a CEO firing a toxic co-founder. Your first flex is the Second Battle of Panipat in 1556, where your forces crush Hemu's elephants and archers, securing northern India like a tech mogul locking down a patent. The air smells of gunpowder and victory. As you ride into Delhi, your turban gleaming like a verified X badge. Most teens are sneaking out for parties. You're conquering kingdoms, your ambition burning hotter than a desert noon. Bless your chill teen years. Unlike Akbar, who built an empire while dodging spears and schemers, your military genius is a masterclass in strategy, like a pro gamer dominating a battle royale. By the 1570s, you conquer Gujarat, Bengal, and Rajasthan, your armies sweeping through forts like a viral app taking over the market. The siege of Chittorgarh in 1568 is your mic drop moment. 20,000 defenders fall, your cannons roaring like a DDoS attack on a rival server. You don't just fight, you innovate, arming your troops with muskets and artillery, turning the Mughal army into India's first military startup. The air smells of smoke and triumph as you subdue Rajput strongholds. Not by slaughter, but by alliances, marrying Rajput princesses like Jodhabai to seal peace deals. Your campaigns aren't chaos, they're calculated, like a chess grandmaster checkmating foes. Bless your board games for fun. Unlike Akbar, whose wars built an empire from Kabul to Bengal, diplomacy's your secret sauce, and you serve it like a Michelin star chef. Instead of crushing Rajputs, you recruit them, offering land and titles like stock options in a unicorn startup. Your court's a melting pot. Hindus, Muslims, Jains, and Sikhs mingle like a TED Talk after-party, debating faith and philosophy under your watchful eye. You marry into Rajput clans, binding warrior tribes to your throne like a CEO securing investors. The air smells of rosewater and sealed pacts as you negotiate with Persian envoys and Portuguese traders, turning Agra into a diplomatic hub, buzzing like a UN summit on Red Bull. When rebels like your half-brother Mirza Hakim stir trouble, you outmaneuver them with charm and steel, keeping the empire glued together, like a master coder debugging a crashing app. Bless your Zoom calls for simplicity. Unlike Akbar, who balanced a continent's worth of egos without a single PowerPoint, your religious tolerance is revolutionary, like launching a diversity initiative in a medieval boardroom. In 1575, you build the Ibadat Khana in Fatehpur Sikri, a debate hall where mullahs, Brahmins, Jains, and Jesuits argue faith. Like it's a Reddit thread gone viral. You listen, you question, and, shockingly, don't burn anyone for disagreeing. By 1582, you launch Din-e-Ilahi, a spiritual vibe check, blending Islam, Hinduism, and more. Like a Renaissance TED Talk on unity, it doesn't catch on, but it screams your vision, an empire where faith doesn't divide. Unlike Europe's religious wars, tearing through like a bad algorithm, the air smells of incense in progress as you abolish the jizya tax on non-Muslims, winning Hindu loyalty like a politician nailing a campaign ad. Bless your chill Sundays. Unlike Akbar, who rewrote India's spiritual code to keep peace, administration's where you shine, turning a chaotic empire into a well-oiled machine. Your Mansabdari system ranks nobles by military contributions. Like a corporate org chart with swords, you assign Jagirs land grants, like stock options, ensuring loyalty without draining the treasury. The air smells of ink and vellum, as your scribes record taxes, crops, and laws, standardizing governance like a tech mogul scaling a platform. You centralize power, curbing warlords like a CEO reining in rogue VPs. Your revenue reforms, led by Todar Mal, make the treasury gleam like a crypto wallet after a bull run. Your empire's no feudal mess. Bless your policies for stability. Unlike rival sultans stuck in medieval chaos, economy's your flex, and you work it like a venture capitalist with a golden touch. You protect trade routes, linking Delhi to Gujarat's ports, where merchants trade spices, silks, and gems, like a 16th century stock exchange. Your pacts with Portuguese and Ottoman traders fill your coffers, the air buzzing with coins and commerce. You standardize weights and measures, streamlining markets like an e-commerce giant optimizing logistics. Taxes are fair. Your land surveys ensure peasants aren't squeezed dry. Unlike European serfs, crushed by feudal lords, the air smells of saffron and profit as you fund Fatehpur Sikri's marble palaces. Your empire thriving like a unicorn startup in a bull market. Bless your stable paycheck. Unlike Akbar's merchants, who owed their wealth to his vision, culture's your masterpiece, painted with the flair of a Renaissance influencer. You patronize poets like Faizi and painters like Basuan, turning your court into a Mughal Hollywood. Miniatures glow with vibrant scenes, battles, hunts, and romances. Like Renaissance Instagram posts, you build Fatehpur Sikri, a city of red sandstone and marble, its halls echoing with music and poetry. Like a cultural festival gone viral, the air smells of ink and rosewater as you commission translations of the Mahabharata and Ramayana into Persian, bridging Hindu and Muslim stories like a literary API. Your court's no dusty fort. It's a beacon of art, drawing scholars from Persia to Portugal. Bless your Spotify playlists, unlike Akbar, who turned culture into a soft power weapon. Sacrifices mark your path. Your father's exile leaves you a toddler on the run. Raised amid tents and traitors, marriages to Rajput princesses are political, not romantic. Your Zenana a diplomatic chessboard rather than a rom-com set. You lose your mother early, and your son Jahangir's rebellions sting like a startup co-founder turning rogue. The air smells of regret. As you exile disloyal kin, your heart heavy, but your throne secure. Constant wars and plots keep you awake, your resolve forged in fire, like a server surviving a cyber attack. Bless your freedom to chill. Unlike Akbar, who traded peace for an empire's weight, the shadows aren't small. Your conquests, like Chittorgarh's, leave thousands dead, villages burned, the air thick with smoke and cries. Heavy taxes, though fairer than most, burden peasants like a predatory app's microtransactions. Your Dini Ilahi flops, mocked by orthodox mullahs like a failed product launch. Suppressing rebellions like in Bengal means blood on your hands. A cost you pay to keep the empire whole. You're not perfect. Your reign's a high-stakes gamble, balancing tolerance and terror like a CEO navigating a PR crisis. Bless your moral dilemmas. Unlike Akbar, who bore the stains of empire to build a legacy, folklore crowns you the great. Tales paint you as a philosopher king, debating faiths till dawn like a TED Talk host with a turban. Legends say you tamed wild elephants with a glance, your courage bolder than a viral stunt. One story claims you memorized the Mahabharata, reciting verses to dazzle courtiers like a Renaissance stand-up comic. Your justice system, settling disputes in open court, comes mythic, like a reality show where fairness wins. Gi Thai portray you as a ruler who saw all faiths as one, your empire a utopia shining like a polished app. Bless your chill reputation. Unlike Akbar, whose myth outshines the stars, your military strategy's a symphony of brains and brawn. You conquer with cannons and alliances, not just swords. Your campaign's planned like a tech mogul plotting a market takeover. Gujarat's ports fall, Bengal's rivers bend to your will. Rajput forts kneel through marriage pacts. The air smells of gunpowder and diplomacy. As you blend force and finesse, your empire stretching like a viral app's user base. Bless your calculated risks. Unlike rivals crushed like buggy code, diplomacy's your art form. You bind Rajputs, Afghans, and Persians with marriages and titles. Your court a diplomatic hub like a global summit with better food. You negotiate with Portuguese traders and Safavid envoys, securing trade routes like a CEO locking down supply chains. The air smells of sealed treaties and ambition. Your alliances enduring like a trending hashtag. Bless your negotiation skills. Unlike sultans outplayed like checkers novices, your reforms are a game changer. The Mansabdari system and revenue reforms turn chaos into order. Like a tech giant streamlining operations, you abolish jizya, winning Hindu loyalty like a politician nailing a campaign ad. Fatehpur Sikri's marble halls and your translations spark a cultural renaissance, your vision a beacon through medieval fog. The air smells of progress and poetry. As you lay the empire's foundation, a legacy shinier than a viral post. Bless your hustle. Unlike rulers stuck in dusty forts, you're Akbar the Great, a visionary who turned a fractured empire into a superpower. Your reign's a masterclass in wit, steel, and tolerance, conquering forts, uniting faiths, building Fatehpur Sikri like a CEO launching a unicorn. You navigate wars, rebellions, and scheming nobles, emerging as a legend whose empire dazzles like a blockbuster. Tonight, when you scroll X and sip clean coffee, raise a glass to Akbar. He clawed his way to greatness, shaping a world so you could thrive in it. Akbar united India with vision, but in England, Elizabeth I turned a broke kingdom into a superpower, wit sharper than a viral tweet. How did Gloriana outsmart armadas and suitors? Imagine stepping into Greenwich Palace, 1558. The air smells of wax seals, damp stone, and ambition so thick it could choke a startup's pitch deck. You're not just anyone. You're Elizabeth Tudor, 25-year-old redhead, crown shinier than a freshly minted NFT, kingdom shakier than a crypto exchange during a market crash. You're not here to sip small beer or curtsy to nobles. You're Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen, Gloriana herself, about to turn a bankrupt, divided England into a global superpower, with nothing but wit, grit, and a wardrobe that slays harder than a viral TikTok. Forget fairy tale queens with glass slippers. Elizabeth's story is a masterclass in dodging assassins, outsmarting empires, building a legacy that makes her the ultimate Renaissance CEO. Buckle up. This is the saga of how Elizabeth I became the glittering icon of a golden age, and why her hustle makes modern influencers look like they're posting from a flip phone. Born in 1533, daughter of Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn, a royal combo as messy as a reality TV divorce. Your mom's beheaded when you're 2, branded a traitor for failing to deliver a son, leaving you a royal outcast in a court smellier than a medieval dumpster. Your childhood's no Disney montage, raised under suspicion, shuffled between palaces, dodging stepmothers and tutors, learning Latin, Greek, and French to survive a world where a wrong word could mean the axe. By 20, locked in the Tower of London, your sister Mary accuses you of Protestant vibes too bold for her Catholic purge. The air's heavy with betrayal. Stone walls cold as a corporate boardroom plotting your exit. But you're no damsel. You study, scheme, charm, turning every snitch into a lesson. Bless your cozy childhood for Roblox and sleepovers. Unlike Elizabeth, who learned politics sharper than a guillotine's edge. Fast forward to 1558, crowned queen at 25, inheriting a kingdom broke as a failed Kickstarter. Split like a Reddit thread on politics. Catholics and Protestants at each other's throats. Spain itching to invade. France backing your cousin, Mary, Queen of Scots, plotting her comeback like a cancelled influencer with a new handle. Treasury emptier than a blockchain after a hack. Nobles scheming like VCs sniffing out a quick flip. Most monarchs would have folded faster than a bad startup. But you're Elizabeth, playing the game like a grandmaster, turning England into a powerhouse. Moves so slick they'd make a hedge fund manager jealous. Your first flex, 1559 Act of Uniformity. Religious settlement bolder than launching a startup in a recession. You declare yourself Supreme Governor of the Church of England, making Protestantism the vibe, keeping Catholics chill enough to avoid a civil war. Like moderating a toxic X-thread, balancing both sides, dodging riots and papal excommunications. The air smells of burning incense and fresh prayer books, enforcing Anglican rites, fining anyone skipping Mass like it's a paywall for salvation. Catholics grumble, Protestants cheer. You keep the peace with speeches hitting harder than a viral TED Talk. The Pope calls you a heretic, but you're too busy rewriting England's algorithm to care. Bless your chill weekends. Unlike Elizabeth, who turned faith into a political chessboard and won. Diplomacy's your superpower. You wield it like a social media strategist, dodging cancel culture. Spain's Philip II and France's dukes send marriage proposals like spam DMs, each hoping to lock you in and control England's throne. But you're the Virgin Queen, married to the nation, not some prince with a bad mustache. You string them along with charm and delays, keeping Europe guessing like a reality show cliffhanger. Your envoys negotiate trade deals, the air thick with sealed parchments and whispered pacts, turning London into a diplomatic hub buzzing like a UN summit on Red Bull. You flirt with marrying Robert Dudley, your childhood friend, but ditch it when rumors get too loud. No royal rom-com here. Your court's a masterclass in shade, balancing allies and enemies like a pro gamer juggling multiple screens. Bless your Zoom calls for simplicity, unlike Elizabeth, who kept Europe on edge with a wink and a treaty. The Spanish Armada, 1588, your defining moment, a showdown bigger than a Marvel blockbuster. Philip II sends 130 ships, 30,000 men, to crush Protestant England. Most kings would have panicked, like a CEO facing a hostile takeover. But you rally your navy, led by Drake and Hawkins, outmaneuvering Spain's fleet like a startup disrupting a tech giant. The air smells of gunpowder and salt. Your fire ships scatter the armada. Winds and waves finish the job, like a divine DDoS attack. At Tilbury, you don armor. Deliver your mic drop speech, "I have the heart and stomach of a king." The crowd roars like they're at a sold-out concert. England's navy emerges as a global force. You turn a near invasion into a legend. Your victory trending harder than a viral meme. Bless your chill vacations. Unlike Elizabeth, whose hustle sank Spain's dreams in a storm, your economic savvy is straight fire. England's bankrupt in 1558, but you balance the budget like a CFO fixing a failing app. You reform coinage, swapping debased coins for shiny ones, stabilizing trade like a crypto exchange cleaning up after a scam. Your merchants thrive. London's markets buzzing like a modern stock exchange with spices, silks, and profits. You back privateers like Francis Drake. They rob Spanish ships like pirates hacking crypto wallets, funneling gold into your treasury. The air smells of commerce and ambition. You lay the foundation for England's empire, funding exploration to the new world like a venture capitalist betting on the next unicorn. Bless your stable paycheck. Unlike Elizabeth's England, where her policies turned a broke kingdom into a global player. Culture's your secret weapon. You wield it like a content creator building a brand. You bankroll Shakespeare, turning London into Renaissance Hollywood. His plays, Romeo and Juliet, A Midsummer Night's Dream, dazzle crowds like Netflix specials. Your court's a stage. Masks, music, and poetry by Spenser paint you as Gloriana, a goddess queen, shinier than a filtered Instagram post. The air smells of candle wax and ink. You host banquets, doubling as propaganda. Charming ambassadors with wit sharper than a rapier. You fund explorers like Raleigh. Their voyages to America plant seeds for empire. Ships sailing like startups chasing Series B funding. Your patronage makes England a cultural beacon, not a backwater stuck in the dark ages. Bless your Spotify playlists. Unlike Elizabeth, who turned art into power like a Renaissance influencer. Survival's your ultimate flex. You dodged smallpox in 1562. Face scarred, will unbreakable, like a founder pushing through a failed launch. Plots swarm like spam emails. Mary, Queen of Scots, schemes from her castle. Catholic assassins lurk. Nobles whisper betrayal like they're posting on a shady subreddit. Your spy master, Francis Walsingham, runs a network tighter than an NSA algorithm, sniffing out conspiracies like a bot, flagging hate speech. Ordering Mary's execution in 1587 is your darkest call. Air heavy with guilt as you sign the warrant. It's her or you. Excommunications from the Pope. Constant threats, keeping you awake. Resolve forged in fire like a server surviving a cyber attack. Bless your safe bed. Unlike Elizabeth, who slept with one eye open, outliving threats to reign for 44 years. Sacrifices define you. Losing your mother at 2. Growing up under suspicion. A royal orphan in a court of snakes. Your virgin queen persona is a calculated move, sacrificing love for power. Rumors of Dudley swirl. You lock your heart tighter than a blockchain wallet. You navigate a patriarchy that expects you to marry and fade. Yet you rule solo, outwitting dukes and kings like a chess grandmaster. The air smells of ink and resolve. You pen speeches that rally a nation. Loneliness, the price of a crown. Bless your freedom to choose. Unlike Elizabeth, who traded romance for a throne that defined an era. The shadows aren't small. Your Irish campaigns crush rebellions, villages burned, thousands starved, air thick with smoke and cries. Religious settlement alienates Catholics, sparking plots and purges like a toxic ex-thread gone rogue. Heavy taxes fund your navy, squeezing peasants like a predatory app's microtransactions. You're not perfect. Reign's a tightrope walk. Choices ruthless to secure England's future. Execution of Mary Stuart haunts you. Her death a necessity. Stains your soul like ink on a scroll. Bless your moral dilemmas. Unlike Elizabeth, who bore the weight of blood for stability. Folklore crowns you Gloriana, a myth bigger than a Marvel franchise. Tales paint you as a goddess queen. Your speeches rally England like viral TED Talks. Legends say you memorized Shakespeare's plays, reciting lines to dazzle courtiers like a Renaissance stand-up comic. One story, you charmed French ambassadors with a glance. wit cutting through their egos like a hot knife through butter. Tilbury speech, delivered in armor, becomes mythic, image gleaming like a superhero's costume in a blockbuster. Gi Thai portray you as untouchable, queen who turned a fractured nation into legend. Red wigs and pearl-encrusted gowns, iconic as a modern brand logo, bless your chill reputation. Unlike Elizabeth, whose myth outshines the stars. Your military genius isn't just the armada. You rebuild England's navy from a ragtag fleet into a global force. Funding shipyards like a tech mogul investing in AI. Captains Drake and Hawkins raid Spanish colonies. Exploits bolder than a crypto heist. Air smells of tar and triumph. England's ships become terror of the seas. Laying groundwork for empire. Strategies no fluke. Bless your calculated risks. Unlike kings sunk by hubris like a bad stock pick. Diplomacy's your art form. Spain and France at bay. Dangling marriage prospects like reality show teasers. Never committing, always teasing. Envoys secure trade deals. Court buzzing like a startup incubator with global connections. Balancing Catholic and Protestant factions. Speeches calming tensions like a master moderator. Air smells of sealed treaties and ambition. Alliances enduring like a trending hashtag. Bless your negotiation skills. Unlike rivals outplayed like checkers novices. Reforms are game changer. 1559 religious settlement rewrites England's spiritual code, making Protestantism law while avoiding all-out war. A pivot bolder than rebranding a failing app. Stabilize economy. Reform coinage. Fund exploration. Policies spark golden age like a viral campaign. Court's cultural hub. Shakespeare's plays and Spenser's poems shining like Renaissance blockbusters. Air smells of ink and progress. Empire's foundation laid. Vision beacon through dark ages. Bless your legacy. Unlike monarchs stuck in medieval obscurity, you're Elizabeth I, Gloriana, Virgin Queen, turning a broke, divided kingdom into a superpower. Reign's masterclass in wit, steel, and vision. Dodging plots. Sinking armadas. Bankrolling Shakespeare like a venture capitalist with a crown. Navigating assassins, religious wars, scheming nobles. Emerging a legend. Golden age shines brighter than a viral post. Air smells of victory and verse. Carving your name into history. A queen whose hustle makes modern CEOs look like interns. Tonight, scroll X. Sip clean coffee. Raise a glass to Elizabeth. She clawed her way to greatness, so you could live in a world she shaped. Elizabeth stunned Europe, but in Sicily, Frederick II, the Stupor Mundi, ruled with a mind so brilliant it dazzled scholars and sultans like a Renaissance TED Talk. How did this emperor conquer with words and wonder? Picture Jezi in 1194. Italian sun casts long shadows over a modest birth chamber. Air smells of olive oil and fresh hay, not the gilded incense of imperial halls. Your Frederick II, born December 26, 1194, son of Emperor Henry VI and Constance of Sicily, thrust into fractured kingdoms, a chaotic patchwork of dukes, popes, and schemers like a medieval dysfunctional family reunion gone viral. Your cradle's no luxury bassinet, a simple wooden box in a fortress, rocking to the rhythm of political intrigue. No memory foam, no lullabies from courtiers, just clang of swords and whispers of plots that could end your life before it begins. Bless your luck for hospitals with monitors beeping like a playlist. Unlike this era, where royal birth means dodging assassins from day one. Childhood's no fairy tale. Orphaned at 3 when Henry dies, left in Sicily's turbulent court, air reeks of scheming nobles. Papal envoys circle like vultures over a fresh kill. Your mother Constance, regent in name, fights to protect you. Barons grab power like kids, snatching candy at a piñata. By 4, you're king of Sicily. Crown heavier than a lead backpack. Guardians appointed by the Pope treat you like a pawn in a chess game. You learn Latin, Arabic, Greek, German, Sicilian. Not from cozy tutors, from a whirlwind of scholars. Mind absorbs knowledge like a sponge in a storm. No Netflix marathons, no Fortnite sessions. Playtime, dissect falcon anatomy, debate Aristotle with Muslim philosophers, dodging kidnappings and excommunications. Palace halls echo arguments, smell of wax seals on treacherous letters. Bless your childhood for video games and bedtime stories. Unlike Frederick, who learned survival by navigating court politics sharper than a double-edged sword. At 14, crowned Holy Roman Emperor in 1211. No coronation party with cake and confetti. Empire's a mess. German duchies, Italian city-states, Sicilian lands pull in different directions. Like a group project where everyone's the boss. Smell ink on papal bowls. Hear clash of rival armies in Lombardy. Feel weight of crown demanding you unify chaos. No summer vacations, no gap years. Teens spent forging alliances, crushing rebellions in Sicily, outmaneuvering Pope Innocent III, Mary Constance of Aragon in 1209. Political merger, not rom-com meet cute. Blessed teen years for proms and pizza parties. Unlike Frederick, whose gap year was dodging papal interdicts and building an empire from scraps. By 1220, fully emperor. Path cleared not by fate, but cunning diplomacy and timely deaths of rivals. Navigate Pope's demands for a crusade. Consolidate Sicily. Issue constitutions of Melfi in 1231. Legal masterpiece like drafting Magna Carta on steroids. Code centralizes power, curbs nobles' privileges, standardizes justice across realms. Smell of fresh parchment and revolutionary ink. Hear scribes copying laws protecting peasants. Feel resistance from barons like storm clouds gathering. No boardroom negotiations. No HR policies. Team building. Exile disloyal dukes. Reward faithful ones with lands. Bless your career climbs for resumes and interviews. Unlike Frederick, whose promotions came with excommunications and battlefield promotions. Military genius shines in Sixth Crusade, 1228 to 1229. Reclaim Jerusalem without a single battle. Negotiate with Sultan al-Kamil like a master deal-maker closing a billion-dollar merger. Air in Jaffa smells of olive groves and incense. Sign Treaty of Jaffa. Gain Jerusalem, Bethlehem, Nazareth. Through words, not swords. Smell victory's sweet myrrh. Hear cheers from Crusader knights expecting bloodbaths. No epic sieges, no heroic charges. Crusade is diplomatic masterstroke. Outwitting Pope who excommunicated you for delaying. Bless negotiations for Zoom calls and contracts, unlike Frederick, whose deals sealed amid desert winds and papal curses. In Sicily, crush baronial revolts in 1230s. Armies march through olive groves. Air thick with dust and blood. Raise rebel strongholds. Hear crack of catapults. Feel ground shake under cavalry. Strategy blends speed and siege, like a chess player trapping a king. Against German princes in 1240s, divide and conquer. Ally with some. Isolate others. Spies whisper secrets like court gossips. Night before battles, pore over maps by candlelight. Wax dripping like time running out for foes. Bless conflicts for board games and simulations. Unlike Frederick, whose wars were life or death gambles with empires at stake. Your reforms transform Sicily into a powerhouse. Constitutions of Melfi curb feudal lords. Centralize taxes and justice like a CEO, streamlining operations. Smell fresh ink on laws standardizing courts. Hear scribes chanting regulations protecting peasants. Nobles grumble, but your code endures, a legal framework ahead of its time. In the empire, balance German dukes with imperial edicts, forging unity from chaos. Administration's no medieval mess. Bless your systems for efficient governance, unlike kingdoms fractured like a shattered mirror. Diplomacy's your secret weapon. Marrying Isabella II of Jerusalem secures the Holy Land without a drop of blood. Your envoys negotiate like seasoned diplomats sealing treaties. Air in acre smells of spices and truce. Outwit Pope and Sultan alike. Forge alliances with Muslim scholars and Byzantine emperors. Court a melting pot of cultures. Hear Arabic and Greek debates. Feel pulse of an empire bridging east and west. Pacts aren't fragile. Bless your treaties for lasting peace, unlike rivals undone by broken vows. Science and culture bloom under your patronage. Found University of Naples in 1224, creating a hub for law, medicine, and philosophy. Scholars flock like bees to honey. Translate Arabic and Greek works, unlock knowledge on astronomy and anatomy. Personally study falconry, writing De Arte Venandi cum Avibus, a masterpiece blending observation and science. Court smells of parchment and herbs, hear debates echoing through halls. No mere patron, bless your curiosity for advancing knowledge, unlike kings content with ignorance like a closed book. Economy thrives, protect Mediterranean trade, sign pacts with Genoa and Venice, ports bustle with merchants, laws safeguard commerce, taxes fund court and campaigns, smell spices from the east, hear coins clinking in markets. Trade's no barter system, bless your policies for prosperity, unlike stagnant realms poor as church mice. Yet greatness demands sacrifice. Orphaned young lose Mother Constance at 4, raised amid guardians scheming for power. Marriages are political tools. First wife, Constance of Aragon, dies young. Grieve like a storm-tossed ship. Imprisoned son Henry VII after rebellion. His death in custody, a shadow on your soul. Smell damp prison air. Hear chains rattling. Feel weight of a crown forged in personal pain. Excommunications from Pope isolate you. Nights filled with strategic worries. Bless your resolve for enduring loss, unlike lesser rulers crumbling under pressure like dry leaves. Shadows aren't light, heavy taxes burden peasants. Funding wars and court like a never-ending levy. Conflicts with Pope lead to excommunications. Branded an antichrist in some eyes. Crushing Sicilian rebels razes villages. Blood soaks the soil, smell smoke from burned strongholds. Hear cries of the defeated. Centralization curbs nobles, sparks resentment, like a fire smoldering under ashes. Bless your pragmatism for balancing power, but cost stains your reign like ink on a scroll. Folklore crowns you stupor mundi. Tales whisper you converse with falcons, understanding their language like a medieval Dr. Dolittle. Legends say you debated Muslim scholars till dawn, outwitting them with multilingual mastery. Dissect animals to unlock life's secrets. Curiosity boundless as the stars you charted. Falconry book becomes a bestseller, like a viral self-help guide for rulers. Gyaithai portray you as philosopher king, just and wise, yet ruthless when crossed. Bless your myth for inspiring awe, unlike forgotten kings fading into obscurity. Military strategies a symphony of intellect and force. In Sicily's campaigns, divide rebels. Strike swiftly like lightning on a clear day. Against German dukes, alliances fracture foes. Spies weave webs of information. Sixth Crusade's diplomacy reclaims Jerusalem peacefully. Words mightier than swords. Smell negotiations incense. Hear treaties sealed with wax. Bless your tactics for victories, unlike brute kings wasting lives like spilled wine. Diplomacy weaves your web. Marry Isabella, secure Jerusalem without war. Masterstroke like a peaceful merger in a hostile market. Balance popes and sultans. Envoys carry olive branches and veiled threats. Air smells of sealed parchments. Alliances endure like ancient oaks. Bless negotiations for peace, unlike warmongers igniting endless flames. Reforms code empire's future. Melfi's constitutions centralize law. Curb barons like reins on wild horses. Found Naples University, seeding knowledge like a farmer sowing fields. Translations from Arabic unlock science. Court a library alive with debate. Smell vellum and spices. Hear scholars' voices rise like a chorus. Bless your vision for enlightenment, unlike dark ages clinging to ignorance. Economy booms. Safeguard trade. Pacts with Genoa and Venice flow goods like rivers. Laws protect merchants. Taxes fund court without bleeding poor dry. Ports bustle. Realm prosperous as a well-tended garden. Bless your policies for wealth, unlike bankrupt kings begging for loans. Your Frederick II, stupor mundi, a wonder blending power, intellect, and vision. Your reign illuminates the Middle Ages, a beacon for future rulers. We've just soared through the epic pages of history. Cyrus forged empires with charm, Elizabeth outwitted armadas with wit, and Akbar wove a tapestry of tolerance that dazzled the world. From the sunlit courts of Persia to the stormy seas of England to the marble halls of Mughal India, these rulers carved their names in steel, wisdom, and unyielding ambition. They shaped a world we still marvel at today. Their thrones weren't just seats of power. They were beacons of dreams, struggles, and triumphs that echo in our lives. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. Keep these legendary tales alive. Your support fuels our time machine, letting us uncover more stories that inspire and awe. Tell us in the comments, who's your greatest ruler? Cyrus, with his empire of mercy? Elizabeth with her golden age? Or Akbar with his vision of unity? Are you still awake, lost in their glory? Let your thoughts drift, share them below, and help us keep history's fire burning. Your clicks and comments are our spark. Join us, and let's journey through the ages together again soon.